Hello everyone and welcome to Laurence Plays, and this is a Wednesday, so it's a Foundry night, and well, we have a bit of a blueprint down here because we're getting the robots to deal with this mountain for us because it's kind of in the way, and it feels a lot safer to do this than to use the orbital laser. Although that said, what's the point in having an orbital laser if we don't use it? Let's push all of the buttons. Let's do a little bit of mining with the laser first. Oh no, the ship has arrived. Let's not, because I might blow up some of my bots. Anyway, hello everyone. Hello and welcome. Welcome Secretira. Welcome Regular, and that's everyone who's spoken so far. So welcome to you two, and welcome to anyone else who's also here. Shall I zap anyway? No, I probably shouldn't. I'll end up breaking something. Anyway, so I have a bit of a to-do list today. The most exciting thing that I want to do today is have a play with the assembly lines, and I've got a lot of the pieces I need along here. So I've got an assembly line painter, I've got an assembly line producer, assembly line rail, and assembly line start. And together, all of these things will allow me to make larger robots than the little drone guys that I've been building over here in my assembly machines. So that's going to be quite exciting and quite interesting. However, I do remember thinking, ooh, am I a bit short of power? So I think I should probably check that first, if I can find something that's actually connected to the... if I can actually find something that's connected to the big power grid. Do you get... This is just a pylon to nowhere, okay. Fine. Well, we'll fly back over here again, and where is an actual substation thing? There's some down there. Okay, so we'll have a look at these guys, and we'll see whether we actually have enough power at the moment, because I have a feeling there were shortages, but I can't remember whether I went in and sorted them, or whether there's still shortages. And it looks like we do currently have enough power, if I'm reading this correctly. Yeah, there's this I think is the amount of power I have available, and this is the amount of power I'm actually using at the moment. So, can I find grid stats on all of the machines? You might be right. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, yes I can. You're quite right. That would have been a lot easier than flying all the way over. Okay, so anyway, yes, I have the I have enough power at the moment as of right now. However, I don't have an enormous amount of headroom, and I have this sort of vague suspicion that the new buildings I'm going to be putting in are going to be quite power hungry. I'm only saying that because they're big, but I feel like there's a sort of a vague correlation between building size and amount of power hungriness. So given that, I suspect I should probably try and find another patch of hot rocks to start pulling power out of. So I've got some down here. I've claimed those ones. I've claimed those ones. But there aren't really any others nearby. There are some that are more or less underneath my factory. I can't really see... Oh, do I need to go geothermal vents? Yes, I do. There we go. There's these ones that are more or less under the factory. But I investigated those last time, or possibly the time before, and discovered that whilst they are quite conveniently close, they are completely inaccessible. There isn't enough space around them to put the machines in until I upgrade my drilling abilities and I'm able to knock out some of the hardened rocks. And other than that, well, there's some way over here. I don't really want to start running pipes this far because it's going to be an enormous faff. These might not be too bad. The other alternative is to find another patch of coal, like this one, and mine the coal here, get some water from here, and then make another load of watery coal, or coaly water. And that would be quite a short run over to here. But I'd only get one, realistically. There aren't any others nearby. Another possibility will be to come over here, all the way over here. This would be the furthest I've explored yet. There's bound to be some water around here somewhere. There's this river probably carries on this way. And then we've got coal here, and then geothermal vents here and here. So that's quite tempting. And I'm already halfway there with my coal mine over here. So I could carry on running the pylons probably around the top of the lake and then across this way. That's certainly a possibility. Or I could do some standard power. Yeah, and the thing about the standard power is I worry that the coal patch is going to run out, because I've already burned literally through one coal patch over here. I'm making dents in this one. Another possibility would be to look into solar, and I think that might be a smart idea. So I could look into solar and the accumulator equivalent, whatever they're called. All right, let's do that, because it's a thing that I haven't done yet. So I'm going to need to make large quantities of those, clearly. And how do we make solar power? Or solar panels and discombobulators, accumulators, whatever. Solar panel large is iron, advanced parts, circuit boards, energy cells, and glass. Why do you need batteries for a solar panel? I don't know. But then also we have the battery small. We haven't researched battery large yet. Maybe I should try and see if I can grab that one, because that'd be quite good to have that to go with it. And there we go. There's battery large. So let's. Are you a building? Yes, you are. So if we grab that, then we can start putting out both. It's a bat, not a bot. Oh, it would be simpler to set up if we want to get on. Yeah, true. I suppose I can get on with the big bots. Right, so you are going to be... You aren't telescopic, so I don't need to make these in order to make these. But I do need to have lots of things in together and available together. Now, where are my batteries? So there are the batteries. Are they going anywhere useful, or are they just coming through? Yeah, they're only coming through to here. But the rest of the belt is empty. Okay, so what do I need? Let's check that out again. So for a solar panel, I need iron. There, tick. I need electronic components. No, those are nowhere to be seen. Well, there's some over there, but that's quite a long way away and in kind of the wrong place. So that's going to be annoying. I need green circuits, which are here, so I've got those. I need energy cells, which are here, so I can tick those off. And I need glass, which is approximately nowhere. Okay. One of the things can be brought in on the third row along here, because I don't need any more science pack. I don't need science packs to be coming along here. So I could bring glass in along here and then spike it in along here, and then we'd have that one. The electronic components are still going to be a bit of an annoyance, though. As I say, there's a load of them over here, but that's kind of in the wrong place. I could put it on this belt, but then I wouldn't have the energy cells available. And I still also wouldn't have glass. No, I wouldn't have glass. Oh, and there's advanced components as well. So actually, maybe this row is the right place to put it. Yes, power is something you always need more of. Yeah, all right. Let's do it over. Because did I say I needed advanced components? I did. Advanced machinery parts. Yes, I did. So let's put it here, and then go about the glass and try and find a way to bring glass into to this column. So that means I need to come all the way along to here, because this is where there's the next available space on this. It's a row rather than a column. I don't know. It's a row or a column depending on which way up you are. So let's put that in there. We'll go down here and we'll tell you I would like to make solar panels large. No, solar panels large. That one. And then we can go. Hang on a minute. Why are there shock absorbers here? Is that in the way of something that I need? Yes, that is in the way of something I needed. Ah, bother. Okay, are all these machines in use? That machine is not in use. Right, we'll use this one. Drill ship. Yeah, we don't need another one of those. We will have solar large. And I sort of strained there, but it seems to have gone away again, so let's not worry about it too much. Hang on a minute. That's still not going to be able to reach here. Are there any other spare ones along here? Yes, are you a spare? You're a spare. All right, let's configure a third one to be making solar panels. This is absolute nonsense, I know, but never mind. Right, so you are going to need those, and you're going to need, let's put this on the right, there. We're going to need those, and we're not going to need steel. We're going to need green circuits. Oh, no, we haven't got green circuits. And we're going to need iron. We're also going to need glass, which is kind of frustrating, but actually I can spaghetti that in somehow. So right, let's play where is the glass available from, because I know I have glass. Glass is a thing. Ooh, can we upgrade this while we're at it? Yes, we can. There we go. Glass is a thing. There is a massive area of making it underground somewhere around here, and then it pops up somewhere. Here it is. This is glass. Right, so you're going that way. That's interesting. And I need you down about there? No, it must be on this column. I upgraded the machine. It must be that one. Yeah, I think it must be that one that needs it. So I need to get the glass from there, probably underneath, or alternatively, actually I could just go over the top. Let's go over the top. Where was glass? There was glass. So we're going to pull out a couple of pieces of this. Bimp, like that. Actually, we're going to pull out a third one because I've just looked at what's where. Yeah, third one will do. Then I can put in a splittometron here. Come on. Behave. Okay, we'll do it with free placement, which always scares me because I'm fairly sure I'm going to get things in the wrong place. There? Yes, there we go. Lovely. Then I can put it... No, not you. Then I can put in another piece of belt there, and that has now fixed that. Nobody would ever know. Then this one needs to go down that gap there, basically above the plastic boards. So I need to go up a bit. Let's start from here, and then we'll go. Okay, I'm dragging the wrong way. There we go. And then we'll go up. Is E? There we go. Oh, doesn't fit. All right, we'll go that way, and we'll go up a couple. Maybe another one. Ah, I've pressed the wrong button. Remove that. More up. More up. Because I need to get over the top of that. Yee. Can I go down one from there? No. Ooh. Let's do that. That's going at least in the right direction. I may have gone a bit too high, but never mind. Right, then we can go this way and go down. I've run out of slopes. Let's go get some more of those then. I need the system that whatchamacallit has put in, that Satisfactory has added since I played it rudely. But they now have the is it the summer sloop system where you can get where inventory items just get automatically teleported to you whenever you try and build something from wherever you're producing them. A bit like logistics bots in Factorio supplying you with things. I could do with that, to be honest. Right, so you go from there. No, not from there. Go from there. Right, this way, that's good. Then go down. That's even better. To there. Then I said to there. Then go under there. Right. And now we can bring this all the way along here, and we can bring it down as far as we set realistic, as far as we're allowed. No, we can't. You need to stay at this height. All the way to about here. And at this point, I'm going to remove. We're not actually using plastic anywhere until we're not actually using plastic anywhere. Wow. Okay, so in that case, let's take out all of this belt from here to here, just like that. Then I can make this one come down and come through here like that. And if we then discover that we need plastic further on, I can get underneath this one and then pop back up at some point further down. And I think that's going to be reasonably manageable. So here comes the glass. That should be everything. Oh, except batteries, power cells. Oh, they're over. Oh, damn it, they're over here on this one. That's awkward. I got the recipe wrong. So is this actually taking 6 different? No, it takes in 5 different things. So all. Oh, okay. So I don't actually need that because we're not taking in. Yes, we do. Oh, no, that's for the next machine along. A derp. Right, put you back in again. So we've got 3 things going in from that side. 2 things apparently coming in from this side. What have I messed? Oh, I don't know. I don't need these things. But I do need those. Ah, it's these I need, not those. Right. The electronic components aren't needed anywhere nearby here. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to bring the battery, the energy cells, from here to about here, and then through that gap, which is horrible and hideous, and other sort of similar reasons not to. But, I mean, I need them over there, so what else can you do? And yes, technically you can hand feed them, but I'm not going to do that because that way lies madness. So we'll bring this across here to here. No, it's the wrong button. To here, and then down again here. This belt, we will then have to do this. So over here, I'm going to have to do what I was planning to do on the other one, but didn't quite because I turned out I didn't need to. So pull up a big chunk of that because it's not needed anywhere near here, which makes this possible if fiddly and ugly. Oh, Mercer spheres. Okay, I knew there was one of those things, but I just didn't. I couldn't remember which was which. So yeah, Mercer spheres are the ones I was looking for. Named after the rather famous DM, I believe. Right. So and now let's diggy hole. So there and there and there and there and there and so on. In fact, it doesn't actually need to be all that deep. And probably I don't need this much space here, but we'll go with making it a little bit bigger than it needs to be, just for the sake of sanity. So I can put that there, and then run this across here and to here, and then put an upslope in here like that, and there we go. So that's allowing the electronic components to flow through. Now I just need to bring these round like this, and I can have a weird mystical floating belt, which I don't feel bad about, especially when it's only for like 3 pieces. I can put that there, and then this can start making solar panels. Now the thing that's still a bit mildly problematic here is I don't have anywhere to put them at this point. It'd be quite nice to take them away and put them in a box somewhere, because I suspect this machine is going to max out at having made maybe 10 of them, and that isn't a lot, but still it's a good start. So let's now have a look at see how much power we're going to get from each one of these. So a solar panel large produces up to 650 kilowatts, and a steam turbine produces 3.6 megawatts. So actually 6 of these is equivalent to 1 of these. So that's not too bad. They are reasonably effective. Now the question, where's my battery large? There's my battery large, and that's just iron, green circuit, and energy cells. I think that's, yes, that can be done in here quite easily. Now I am going to need to play lazy time, lasery, pum, and pum. And actually those should have been bigger, but never mind. All right, let's switch over to the little laser and go. Actually, I've realised I am going to need to have power for my doodly what's-its inserters as well, and then we'll put all that there. Oh, I've run out of assembler 2s. Where's my machine that makes assembler 2s? Oh, it's the one that has the really obvious ludicrous belt going to it. So you can have all of my inventory, and I'll take those. Thank you very much. And then we'll put in another one of these guys over here like that, and we would like you to make the large battery systems. Doot and doot. And then we can go yes and yes and yes. Lovely. Right. That should now be making all of the things I need for solar power, and actually getting, this is the opposite way around to everything else. That's really unhelpful. Never mind. Yeah, see, we made 10 of those. So that is slightly more than one of the big steam turbines. That's not bad. I'm sort of okay with that, I think. The question is, how many of these do I need to keep the system running overnight? And that I do not know. Let's see what the numbers say. 1,000 megajoules. But I don't know how long night is. So I guess I'll just set up a quantity of each. So we'll. And how many of these? Where am I green? Why do I not have any green circuits or iron? I mean, I do, but is this just the rate I'm? This can't be the rate I'm making these things at, surely. Or the rate I'm letting them come through this way. Yeah, I'm making a woefully pitiful quantity of green circuits. Okay. Remind me, what goes into a green circuit? And is there plastic involved? Where am I actually making these damn green circuits? Okay, this end machine on the end appears to be making them. Yes, it does take plastic by the looks of it. Yeah, plastic and copper and copper. I was thinking, could I just sit something on a copper mine that outputs green circuits instead of copper? But I would have to then bring in plastic. And okay, I seem to be woefully insufficient. I have a woeful insufficiency of plastic, so that's another thing that I'm going to need to increase. Okay, the yak shaving list is getting longer and longer by the minute. Okay, so we store up to 5. By the looks of it, or maybe that's just because we don't have enough. We'll see how we get on with 5. See how I get on with 5. But first, I need to do an auto sort. Oh, I've actually got that much random trash in my inventory. Tell you what, you have anything I'm holding that I don't actually need. Then I can take that. There we go. Right, and now let's head off into the desert, because obviously that's going to be the best place to build solar power. And we'll put these down and then hook them all up to the high voltage network. So I did notice that if we look at if we take a look at the these things. Oh, that's a transformer. I'm looking at the wrong thing. That is solar panel is high voltage grid. Oh, and it requires foundation though, which is bizarre. Okay, interesting. We'll put these in over here because this is sort of where the electricity comes from. So how big are you? You are 5 by 5, and I've got 10 of them. So that's 10 by 25. Okay, unfortunately I seem to have quite a lot of foundation. Start from here. Where's the how big are those? 25 by 10. So go like that. And then I'll switch over to this Zappamatron and zap the things that were in the way. And I think, you know what? Let's go to a slightly bigger Zappamatron and go, I don't want any of that, or any of that, or any of that, or that, or that. There we go. And now I can fill in the blanks like so. And that blank as well. No, not down there. There. And now I can put in the solar panels, but I am going to presumably going to need to hook them all up to the high voltage network, despite the fact that they apparently have to be on foundation, which is going to be a little bit annoying, but never mind. This is another one of those. This is another one of those buildings that's large enough that it sort of feels nice. Can we please demolish that because it's in the wrong place? Thank you. There. Oh, placing things in the right place is harder than it looks, and I'm not quite sure why. I think it's just sort of through klutziness, and it's sort of when your mouse is on the edge of a box and suddenly moves a little bit further than you expect. I think that's the problem. Right, so now, can I link a solar panel to a solar panel? Or more importantly, can I then link it to another one? So if I do that to there, can I then do that to there? Yes, this does seem to be a thing I can do. So I can link all of these together. Like that. And then I can go from there to there and to... it's already got to its maximum connections. Oh, that's fine. I just need to remove that. And then I can run from there to there. Okay, that's quite nice. Being able to have two things going to each one of these means this sort of thing isn't an enormous pain in the proverbial. Oh, thank you for the fuel warning, regular. I shall go and I shall deal with that eventually. So next up is my batteries, which should be up here. Here we go. Also requires foundation. These are 5 by 3, and I've only got half as many of them. So if I come along here and go pew. Take out all of that, there we go. And now I can put in some more foundation like this. Same length, but only 3 wide. Then I can put in the batteries that I'm carrying. That's you guys. One, two. I feel that having 1 battery for every 2 solar panels is probably not going to be enough, but it's what I've got at the moment. So we'll stick them down and then see how things get on. And then I'll need the cables again. Oh. What? So that needs to be connected to... You can't connect a battery to a... That. What? Oh, it's too far away. So I can connect all of these together, fine. But then from here... I need to have another pylon for reasons. And for some reason I can't connect these two together because that would be far too easy. I don't know whether solar ratio is considered spoilers. Probably not. It's... Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know. Okay, so we have a little bit of power going into the batteries from the rest of the grid at the moment. Fine. Not ideal, but okay. And as the sun... Okay, the sun is about to come up. Oh, well, no, the sun has come up, but we're starting to get... By 8 o'clock in the morning, we'll start to get full power being produced by the solar panels, I think, if I'm reading that correctly. So at the moment, we're only getting... none. 15 to 165, so we're not getting any power from it. Is that just because the sun hasn't risen yet? Maybe it is. Oh, I see. Yes, this sun is at 358. Yeah. So when it needs to get up 15 degrees into the sky before we'll see it. Okay, I understand. So we'll have a bit of power in in the hour and a quarter. 3.5 panels to 1 battery. Oh, okay. That's okay then. So at the moment I have plenty of battery. I can put in another row of these batteries before I need the solar before I need to put in any more batteries. That's good to know. Thank you. Yes, I think that doesn't count as a spoiler. Hello, Kevin. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. I see your first time chatter. Good to have you around. Thank you for joining. Welcome to Laurence watches a battery charge. How are we doing? Have we got any actual solar power yet? I would quite like us to have some solar power before I go away. No, it's still only 7 o'clock in the morning, and I need to wait another hour before these things will start doing anything remotely useful. But still, this is nice and simple. I think I probably should have started doing solar power much sooner, even if it's not producing quite as much power in it as quickly as some of the other things I've done. Also, having these batteries here should help to smooth out any sort of bumpiness in the power consumption as well. So we should see that now we've got no power coming in from these, but the batteries are providing a little bit of buffering to maintain the power to everything. And yeah, it's helping a little bit. Yeah, it's going up and down quite quickly here, but it's staying in the sort of 200 and something region. So that's actually no, I think it's going up quite quickly. Even though the solar panels haven't kicked in. So that's really good in that case. It's kind of a shame that I can't use the batteries up first and have the steam turbines power down a little bit, because that would mean I could then switch over to just... Ooh, there's some power. Switch over to just having power from the solar. But, oh well, c'est la vie. Right, so we're now chucking all that 6.5 megawatts straight into the batteries, which are taking in all and then some, so they'll charge up pretty reasonably quickly probably. In fact, they're 10% charged already. That's pretty good. I think this system is probably going to be fine for the time being, and also this is going to be much easier to expand than my geothermal power. So I think sticking with solar and batteries is going to be the way to go. So let's go and look at all of the other problems we've got at the moment. So the latest problem I found was that there's not remotely enough plastic being produced to keep the green circuit production happy in order to keep, well, the entire rest of the factory happy. Plastic is being produced over here. Oh yes, I remember I expanded plastic production a little bit because we didn't have enough of it. So I've now got an extra 3 machines over here doing it over whatever I had before, which I think was just 1 or 2, I don't know. But I squeezed some more in over here. I think I could probably get one... Well, I could casting, okay. I could probably get one more in if I stuck it in here. But I don't know if the machine that's making the liquid plastic will be fast enough. How full are you? And this pipe is completely full, so that seems to be alright. So 2% of the total max throughput, fair enough. Okay, that looks like these are... I don't know, are these perfectly balanced, or is it just that this is what it's outputting? This might be just this is what it's outputting. Let's try and find the other end of it and see what it thinks. Where is the machine that is... Here is the machine that's producing the liquid plastic. How hard do you think you're working? I don't know, I can't get in because there's too many pipes. I need a squeak through mod. Okay, yeah, that's running and then sitting idle at the top. For a little bit, so I think I can probably get away with putting in one more machine making plastic which will increase the flow here. But then after that, I'm then going to need to have more. Oh no, just crude oilomite coming in. Okay, that's not too bad. Wait, I'm looking at the wrong machine. That pipe, maybe it comes from this machine. Yes, this machine. Here we go. This is the one I wanted to look at. So this is still just taking in crude oil and then producing liquid polymer and waste gas. I haven't found actual use for waste gas yet. I think I'm just venting it. But I think venting happens pretty quickly. So I could put in... Yeah, I could put in another machine making that fairly easily. In fact, what might be better might be just to make another plastic production facility, a bigger one, somewhere else. And I'm not sure where somewhere else is going to be at this point. There's loads of space over here, so I could put it in somewhere out this way. Here is the pipe that's bringing in the crude oil. So yeah, I could put in a large plastic production facility over here somewhere and then pipe that plastic in. That'd be quite good. Oh, thanks for the follow, Kevin. Much appreciated. No use for waste gas. No, I don't remember there being one. I think I have a ventimatron somewhere. Yeah, there it is. There's my vent that's just blowing it off into the sky. It's a lovely, lovely pollution. Okay, so I'm going to need more plastic production. In fact, to the extent that I think I need to move it off somewhere else. I feel like I'm going to need a lot of green circuits for making the big bots. So let's do that first, because I think it's not going to be too difficult, because it's just crude oil, I think, and then a casting machine. Yeah, it's a really simple recipe. So I need an oil refinery. Have I got any of those? Yes, I have. Oh, distillation column it's called apparently. And then I need to cast some casting machines. If you're a casting machine, what recipe? There it is. Right. Casting machines, so I'll take 5 of those, and I'm probably going to come back and get another 5 afterwards. We'll take a look at the numbers and see what seems reasonable. Also, I think I'm probably going to need pipes, so let's grab some pipes from here. Pipes. I wish I could just control-click on a building like in Factorio and just take its entire contents, but it is not to be. Alright, so your water, your crude oil... Yeah, I'll put the plastic production in over here, I think. So first, let's deal with all this sand. I don't want to be trying to build in multiple dimensions. So let's. I don't want to be trying to. Have I got the right tool? Yes, I have. So I want to go from there. I said I want to go from. Add area? No, add area. Yeah, fine. Right, I don't know why that didn't work, but we've got it working now anyway. So, I'll take out this area. Go 3D. Okay, I guess that'll do. So we'll take out that area. This has not worked as nicely as I hoped it would. And also this area, because for some reason we didn't get that. Yeah, that'll do. Oh, I've gone down as well. I don't care. Oh, I see. Put some pipes on top of the pipe maker and so on. Yeah, that makes a certain amount of sense, yes. For the bigger ones, though, as you say, it will look a bit ridiculous. But it'd be a start. I think what I would like is something like Factorio's alt mode, where you just have a where it just has an icon on top of it, and I've talked about that in the video that's going to be coming out on Friday for supporters. Where there are a few things that I think could be a little bit better in this game, but oh well, we'll get there eventually. Probably. I mean, it is still early access, so I shouldn't be too rude. Right, let's turn my personal drones on because I do actually want to remove some of this sometime soon, and I don't know when my construction ship is going to arrive. So we'll let these guys get started. In the meantime, while they're beavering away, let's have a look at the ratios that things get produced at. So we've got it's going to be an intermediate component. Here we go, components. Right, so this one uses 5 liquid polymer every 2 seconds. So each machine uses 2.5 liquid polymer a second. The liquid polymer is made 75 every 4 seconds. So that's slightly less than 10 every second. So we can run slightly less than 2.5. Sorry, so we can run slightly less than 10 of these machines. 4 of these. Try again, Laurence. So that produces slightly less than 20 every second, and this uses 2.5 every second. So we can fit in about 7 or 1 to, let's say 1 to 7 ratio on those. That seems reasonable. I didn't actually mean to dig this far down into the ground, so let's go over here a little bit further and get the bots doing something slightly more useful. If my construction ship would head over here, I'd be very much. Ooh, is that it taking off? No, I don't know which one's which. I think they're all. I think those are all transport ships, so they're going up to the space station, which is not what I need. I need my. Ooh, is that this construction ship? I think it might be. No, they're all just transport ships. So yeah, I don't know why my construction ship hasn't come over here to help. Would be appreciated, but it's apparently not. Right, let's get rid of all of that because that isn't supposed to be happening. And similarly, all of that. We're not supposed to be digging that out. In fact, you know what? I could just fill this back up again with sand. It's a little bit ridiculous having dug it up to just sort of put it all back again, but I didn't mean to dig quite that deep. And I don't want to find a bull rock. In fact, I didn't mean to dig. Oh no, never mind. Whatever. You might be right. Maybe the construction ship is still busy on the mountain. It was quite a big job, to be fair. So I wouldn't be too surprised if it is. Okay, well, I can start building anyway. So let's take some of these. Put in a big chunk of that like this. Going all the way over to, I don't know, wherever. Like this. Right, so let's put in a distillation column first. So if I look at my backpack, I assume that's what B stands for in this context. Boiler, distillation column, that one. So you go, you're kind of huge, so we'll put you there. And then we'd like you, let's find out where your output's output to. Oh, you're missing foundation? What do you mean missing foundation? You are not missing foundation. You're missing power. But you're not missing foundation, are you? Oh, okay. There is a stupid rock. There we go. Right, let's try that again with slightly less fail this time. So distillation column goes here at the end of the row. Then which says no power. Fine. I'll just bring power in. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do this. So on the end of here, I'll stick in another couple, bit like that. And then we want a transformatron, like that. And then we need to link that up to something like this. Can you go to there? And of course you can't. That'd be far too convenient. Oh, it's middle mouse button, switch pylon type. We'll go for a small one. Go to there, and then can we? Yes, we can. Lovely. So there we go. Now we've got power to here, so we can tell you that I would like you to make liquid plastic, and then we've got the fluid words. So I've got the waste gas coming out here, I've got the liquid plastic coming out here, and I've got. Why is there a blue thing? What's the blue thing? Oh, that's where it wants the. No, that's where it wants the input to go in. Fine. Well, we're going to remove you then because I don't want you to. I don't want the input to be on that side. I must have misread the thing. Wait, what? Okay, no, I want it that way around, like that. It's a little bit more. It's slightly more awkward to then get in here and say yes, I would like to configure you to do the that plastic, but that's not too bad. Right. So then I need to bring that pipe over to here. That's fine. That's relatively easy. And then, are you not configured? Did I not just configure you? I did. Oh, yes, the symbols are further down than I realised. So that's the waste gas. That's the plastic. Then I need a series of casting machines. Okay. Sort. Boy, casting machines, that one. And that takes it in from the end. It takes it in from either end. Okay, fine. So we'll put you here. And if I put it here, then I won't be able to get that pipe out. So we'll put it here. And then 2, 3, 4. How many of these did I say I could have? It was 7, wasn't it? Yeah, it was 7 because it was slightly less than 8. And 7 is in fact slightly less than 8. Check my maths if you don't believe me. Right, so then I can run a pipe along the back of here. Oh, actually, no, I should program them first. Let's not make the same mistake again. Configure, I want you to make polymer boards. Copy, paste, 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 paste. Okay, so it needs to go down the other side. That's not a problem. I don't actually care. So I need to bring the pipe out from there, along here, and power and feed everything in. Feed it all in. So pipe, 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 pipe. We would like you to be a T-piece, like that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and then we have a corner like that, and in the invisible space at the end here, which I can't place into yet. Is that? Yeah, there we go. That's right. It's there. Then I can put in the corner. Then I can. What's that? Oh, smart drag mode. I should play with that at some point. But we'll link all of these up manually first. That's a new feature, which was wasn't in the game when I last did pipes. So that's part of the new upgrade. So let's put in some pipe here, but this is going to be a T-piece like that. And then let's try the smart drag mode, see what we get. So I want to go from there to, oh, I didn't leave a place for this to, oh no, wait, it doesn't need to be, it needs to come into the front of that. So I want to go to, okay, plane up. No, up is the other one, the other up. So I want that to go to there, but there's pipes in the way. So what have we done here? We've gone up. Yeah. Up first is probably good. Let's do that for now. Boop. There we go. So that's my crude oil being fed in here. You're going to be then, at least it should be. Yes, it is. Are you building? Not you. Are you building? You are. Excellent. So that's working. So then that'll chuck out into these machines. I then need another row of foundation. Actually, two rows of foundation, to be fair, along here. One for the power, one for the belt. One to power the belts, and one for the actual belt itself. I could use earth for the belt because it is quite happy sitting, or even just nothing at all. But I feel I might as well just make the whole area look nice, suitably industrial. So along here, I don't think we're going to be producing enormous amounts of it. So let's just put in a red belt for now, and I can always upgrade it later when I inevitably realise I've made a mistake. And then we'll have an outserter here, 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 and I've run out. Oh, for goodness sake! Right, we'll go and get some. We'll go and get some more inserters, and then come back and see how things are going. What is this? Let us not have this. Oh, this is a flag. It was marking the a hole that I dug. I can't remember what that hole was for. What was this hole for? Oh, it's where stone is, I think. Yeah, okay. Get rid of that. Right, let's go and get some more inserters. And I'll probably fall in that hole later and break my ankle or something, but never mind. Alright, insert. Okay. Some inserter ones, here we go. And while I'm over here, let's see what else I'm short of. So I'm very short of all types of inserters actually. There's medium inserters. Long inserters are way down here, of course, because I invented them much later. Jump. Pump. Tier 3 inserters, there we go. We'll have some of those. So it's a load more inserters. I've got a decent amount of belt at the moment, to be fair. I'm running a little bit low on foundation. Let's have some more of that. You can never have enough belt though, so let's grab some more belt one, red belt. There we go. And now head back over and go. Right, where am I building? It's over there. So that needs to feed in essentially here. Do I want to just feed it in on the same belt that the rest of the plastic's being made on? I probably do. I think. I don't see any real harm in that. What are we making here? Oh, alumic acid, I think. Yeah, so let's run this then from. Oh, actually, let's finish off the these things first. Yeah, I'm bothered by it not being in the right place. There we go. Turn you. Let's keep the pattern consistent. Right. Why are only some of you doing anything at all? I'm pretty sure I did a copy paste to tell everything to do everything. I've probably overflowed on waste gas. That's probably why nothing's working. So let's put in a, what are they called? Flare stack. Flare stacks aren't too big. We can probably fit it in here. Flare stack is 3x3. Excellent. So we'll put you in there. Where does the gunge come out? It comes out here. Okay. That's nice and easy. I will put in a T-piece of pipe down here, though, because I'm going to. My intention is potentially to put in multiple lines of this plastic production. So I'd like to leave a little bit of space and for increase in size. So I would like one of these, but it will be a T intersection like that. And then, sure, let's use a smart drag from here to... What? No. No. That's not what I meant at all. Maybe the smart drag isn't as smart as I thought it was. That goes there. And there. There we go. And, no, what's the other rotate? H. There. There we go. That's all that's leaking out now. And so, yes, we are now producing more plastic. Excellent. Everything is coming up. Millhouse, as they say. So, bring all this plastic all the way over here now, and go la la la. Where are you? Oh, yes, you're being made over there. So let's bring you to here. Then go down to ground level, and we'll build that to go into here. Yeah, this is the plastic place. So bring that back from there to here. Boop, just like that. And the plastic must flow? The plastic must apparently not flow. Why must the plastic not flow? Oh, I see. It decided to try and put the first downhill in a place where it couldn't go. Well done there, silly game. Okay. Boom, plastic has been significantly increased. I think that's more than doubled it. Let's try and get rid of some more of this stone over here. And do I have any more of these? I don't have any more casting machines though. So if I want to extend this any further, I'll have to go and get some more casting machines. But I did say there should be 7 of them in a row. Oh yeah, I should name the transformer. Good point. Plasticus Prime. Yeah, very good. Nom 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 nom. So this is 5, I assume. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it is. So over here, I would like to put in. I don't actually need to go anything like as far as the drones are going. 1, 2, like that, and then we can. Yeah. In fact, you know what? Let's cancel this deconstruction order. So if we press X and then select from there to there and there. There we go. The bots can now have a little bit of a rest. And also, if while I'm here, oh god, what's the control? It's Shift K. Yes, there we go. I want to select an area. I would like to have just we'll do 2 of the machines just to make it quick and easy. So all of that and all of that. Did I get the input pipe? Yes, I did. So we'll confirm, copy and place, and then go bop and do that. And I can now do a paste here, and we won't get the machines, but we'll get everything else. But if I now fly back over here, I wish I flew more quickly. I need another jetpack speed upgrade. I wonder if that is a thing. Come back over here. So it was casting machines, and they were around here somewhere. I got really lucky last time when I was looking for them, and I just happened to spot them. Oh, jetpack fuel very low. Yes, thank you. I'll go and get some more of that in a second. Here we go. Casting machines. Let's grab those. Yoink. And then go back into the paste machiner thing and confirm the paste. And there they go. That should now be done. And we should have the full, however many, 7 machines worth of output happening now. Where's my jetpack fuel? It's one of the machines around here somewhere. It is you. Awesome. Yoink. There we go. 5 gigajoules of power again. Right. So, what was I doing? Yeah, so that's power and also plastic. So we should find now, if we go and look at the green circuit production, It should have a lot more... Yeah, okay, we've now got a solid belt of plastic going into it. So it is still limited. It's not coming out as fast as I would like it to be coming out, but it is no longer limited by the rate that the plastic is going in. I suspect it's now limited by the rate that the copper's going in at, even though I've got 2 belts, but neither of them are full. So I guess I need to go back and have another look at the copper and work out why that's having trouble, why there isn't enough of that coming through. Probably upgrade everything to green belts and get more copper production in the copper mine, sort of 300 meters away over there. But I think I'll prevaricate about that one a little bit, and because I want to go and play with the assembly machines, the assembly lines rather, because I think that sounds like fun. So we'll go. Oh, name transformer. Thank you. That's a very good idea. I will in fact do that, even if I appear to be forgetting to. Yes. Thank you for the reminder. Someday I'll remember something, but I don't know when that'll be. Grid stats. It doesn't, of course, it doesn't give you the one you've just selected, but that must be this. Yeah, that's this one. So this is not Transformer Group 157. This is plus. What was the suggestion? Plasticus Prime. Yeah, sure. We'll go for that because it amuses me a little bit, and it's still clear what it's actually doing. Why is this orange? Oh, it's because it's using most of the power from it, even if it's not actually quite using all of it. Okay, that's fine. We'll leave that one alone. Right. Take 3, or attempt 3, to go over and actually make an assembly line. Let's see what we can do this time. So making robots on an assembly line is going to require me to make all of the bits for the robot, which is... Should we start off with farmer robots because it's at the top? I don't really care. So we need to make... I think I'm making robot parts. But we need to make a torso, we need to make a head, and I'm assuming I need to make the arms and the legs at twice the rate that I'm making the other bits at. And everything takes 15 seconds, so that simply means 2 machines making the legs, 1 machine making the torso and the head. So to make these, there are various parts required, and hopefully I'll be able to just have one set of belts bring them in. So we've got robot parts, iron plates, barrels, and energy cells. Parts and CPUs and polymer boards, that's 6 already. Jeez. And pistons, that's 7. And that's it. Okay. So we've got 7 different things going into making these. So maybe, what are the most common ones? So we've got robot parts and iron go into many of them. So if I have belts coming up the middle carrying robot parts and iron and something else, it doesn't really matter. Maybe it could be the and then I put the arm makers on one side of the belt and the head and the torso makers on the other side. Then there should be enough room around it for me to pass everything in and out. Okay, so let's do that. First step then is just going to be making stuff in the kind of normal way. So I want 1, 2, 3 belts. And I'm going to put in a 4th one because I think things might be a little bit funny. And if not, well, we'll have some space as well. Then 1, 2, 3 for the machine doing the building. And then 1, 2, 3 for the belts on the other side. Oh, and then another 2 because I forgot to put the inserters in. And then another 1 for bringing things out as well. So there we go. We've got quite a lot of space there. That is quite wide. How wide is that? That is 14 wide. That's quite a lot of space for 2 sets of machines. But never mind. I'd rather have too much space than too little. I'll bring that all the way out here like that, because I can always pick it up again if it turns out I don't need it. So, we will be bringing in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so put the machines... Start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll put the machine here, I think, because that's room for 3 belts and then a spare one. Then the next one will be, oh wait, I haven't left enough space because I didn't count all the belts. I didn't count the belts enough times over. Still, I can put in the other machine. So there'll be 1, 2, 3. No, I can't. This is going to be huge. Right. Then we put in. Then we have 3 belts, 2 inserters. That one goes there. The other side, there's room for 3 belts and some faffery. Good. So that is about the right size. Hooray! Scarily enough. Right, and you are going to then make robot parts. We're going to make a farmer robot torso. We're then going to put another one next to you here that's going to make a farmer robot head. Then over here, We're going to have 4 machines. Boop, 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 boop. The first 2 are going to make arms. Like that. And the second 2 are going to make legs. Left legs. Right leg. There we go. And then we're going to have things, belts float in the middle. Actually, you know what? I should put these in the other way around. So from in the middle, I can see all of the recipes. That's going to make things a lot easier. So that goes there and there. Please tell me I've left the space. Yep, I have. Good. So these are going to be head, shoulders, and then knees and toes are behind me. Head, shoulders, elbows, toes. Okay. And so there were things that were required for both. So we had the robot parts and the xenoferrite plates are needed for on both sides. So we'll bring them in here. And then one other thing chosen somewhat arbitrarily. So did I actually make robot parts last week? I don't think I did, which is a bit of a shame because I thought about it quite a bit, but it looks like I didn't actually make them. I also talked about making the piston things, and I did make some of those because they're being put onto the belt over here, into the maul. But I think they're being done in relatively small quantities. Where are they? So they're somewhere down here. That's why there's this pink pipe running along the top here. Yeah, and going in there. So we've got one machine making those. That's not going to be enough. Okay. However, that does mean I'm going to need to run this lube pipe all the way down the entirety of the bus, which is going to be a bit of a faff, should we say. If I start here... It's not going to be that much of a faff. It's not going to be any more faff than running another belt down there is, to be fair. So run that. Newt. Alternatively, we will try to fail slightly less. Like that. And then again. Can we go straight through the middle of here? Of course we can't. That'd be far too easy. Alright, let's try the magic smart mode again. So we'll go from there, and then we'll go across one like this, behind the back of this pylon. Maybe we'll go across 2. Is there even room to come through here? Yes, there is. So if I come through to here, then I can come through here like this, and then I can immediately run out of pipe. It was going so well until it suddenly wasn't. Right, beep. Give me all the pipe. And also, let's steal all the pipes from this belt. E. Or at least steal some of the pipes from this belt, because apparently stealing all the pipes from the belt is too complicated for my little robot brain. And there's too many inserts in there, I can't be bothered. Right, let's see if that's enough. No, I don't think I did the robot parts either. I think I thought about it a bit and then didn't actually do it, as is traditional. Can we have you in smart mode, please? Thank you. Because then we can run this over here. And just bring it along. If I bring it along next to the bus, then it's sort of tidy and feels like it's kind of deliberate. If I bring it slightly less close to the bus, though, then it won't interfere with any of these things where things are being split off in, frankly, quite ugly ways from the bus because I ran out of sanity. Okay, you can go down one, I guess. And straight under there. And I've run out of pipe again. Hurrah! This is a ludicrously long bus, and that's going to be too long a pipe now as well. So I'm going to need to put in a pump somewhere. Question is, where do I need to put in a pump? Now it's clearly past here because this went in without any problem. So I cut that there. Or there. Okay, it's slightly, yeah. All right, I need to put in a pump here. Basically, is what we're saying. So. Repair that. No. Back. Pump. That one. You go in there. And then the pump is going to need to have power. So we'll go mip. And vertical. Like that. And okay. Put it in there. Right, so we've got a little pillar of power power supply along here. That doesn't begin with a P, which is a bit of a shame. So now we can pump that as far as we want. I need to go and get even more pipes because that is a ludicrously long pipe. Yes, the CPUs did take a while, didn't they? Because I needed to go off and mine the Telexium and so on, and then do lots of building and bits and pieces like that. So There's only 30 because they're all on the belt. Maybe pipe is another thing that I should be putting into a storage container so I can just go over and collect a bajillion of them at a time, because I do keep running out. Do I have any logistics containers in my pockets? No. Can I build one? Are they in structures? They're probably a structure. Yeah, here we go. Tank, logistics container. I mean, I can't, but I can see what I need. Yeah, I think a logistics container is going to be adequate. And that requires some xenoferrite plates and machinery parts. Here's the machinery parts. Oh, I'm full again. Ugh. Let's not carry some steel beams around with me. They're probably quite heavy. I've got all these. I've got a mining laser and a mining drill. Probably should get rid of the mining drill because that's a bit pointless now. I could just junk it, I guess. You cannot destroy the last mining drill in an inventory. I suppose that's probably a good thing, because if you did, you might get to the point where you might soft lock yourself. So that's probably sensible. Do I need 4 types of earth? Probably not. Let's just keep the sand. I'll keep the sand and the normal dirt, because I've got most of the sand. And dirt is the one I tend to use by default. I don't need to carry a load of coal around with me. I do need those electronic components, actually. I'll probably junk these fairly soon, which is a bit of a shame, but oh well. Okay, construction. Do I now have enough of those? Yes. I just need the iron. Any old iron? Here's some iron. That's probably enough. And now make me a logistics container. There we go. And beeps, come in here. Right, so if I can put that logistics container in over here now. That one. There we go. No, that's weird. It goes here. And then we put in a tier 2 inserter. Like that. And then it'll fill up. Except it won't, because it's not got power. What? No, don't be vertical. Horizontal. There we go, that's better. There we go. Now she's eating all the pipes, so I can grab them out of here instead. How many have we got in the machine that's actually making them? None. Great. Because they're all going straight into this into the hungry maw of the storage container over here. So I can grab these actually. They're not going to go anywhere useful. And then I can come along here and just grab the additional 30. Right. Let's stop faffing around with that now. Let's get that pipe in. Let's get that pipe in place so we can start making robot bits. Or I could make them here and then have them go down a belt instead. No, let's just keep let's be sensible. Build things in kind of the order that we end up needing them in, rather than just going, oh, you know what? I could make these over here and just make things even more confusing. And yeah, no, let's not do that. Although it would save me a load of pipe, but never mind. Okay, so here we're going to be using basically all of this space for reasons. I would now like to take out some of this land. We shall call it this land. So I would like to remove... Let's go from there to there to... Well, it's going to have to be there, isn't it, really? Yeah. That's kind of horrifying. Let's go and take out that piece of stone, because that is also kind of horrifying in a very different way. Pew! There we go. Alright, so the bots can get on with that eventually. In the meantime, I will expand this as much as I can. And double click by mistake. Right, so this one, right, we're going to have at least 3 and probably 4, 5. Let's leave about that much space. And let's tell you then to make... This isn't going to be assemblers, is it? because this is going to be a fluid assembler. Let's get rid of you again because that's the wrong building. I'm going to need to have a fluid assembler, which is this guy, and I've only got one of those, so better make it count. Put you in there. You, I would like to build, yes, those hydraulic pistons, which is steel beams and low density olumite. So we've got the olumite coming in this pipe here. That's fine. And then we've got the steel coming in on probably somewhere on the bus over here. Yes, there it is. So that's fine. Then we need to make, so we need the pistons here anyway. Then we also need robot parts, which are a component presumably. Yes, there they are. Which takes thermalite, advanced parts, electronic components, and polymer boards. So we do have all of that stuff, so that's okay. I just need more space at this point. Which is kind of annoying because I suppose, you know what I could do actually. Let's demolish all of this, especially these machines are in the wrong place, and start again. And by the time I've finished building the robot parts, the bots will have come over and dealt with all of this stone for me. So it's going to be much easier. So let's start from the very beginning. At this point, I want to use a fluid assembler that only needs one solid input. So actually, let's put it here. Have an input and an output, and we'll feed in the fluid wherever that needs to go. So let's make the let's make the pistons here. Let's learn to. I keep trying to play the game as if it's Factorio, and that doesn't work because, spoilers, this isn't actually Factorio. I'm just too used to the control system because I've played 3,500 hours of it. Right, we'll have another look in the backpack. Hopefully I've still got some pipes. Yes, I have. So we'll take some of that, put in a T-piece here, like that. And then... okay, put in a T-piece there. Like that. And a pipe comes across here. In fact... yeah, I could probably do it to there and then maybe use the smart mode. And I want to go down a row, like... no, I don't want to go over there. As I think I might have said before, the smart mode is not very smart. And we're going to do this manually. Do it the old-fashioned way. Right, you... no. That way. That way. That way. And that way. And I'll put another one on here because I am inevitably going to want to copy paste this. Then we can actually do. Then we can use the bus properly, and we'll see the joy of busing. So we'll have a belt come across here, and where is the steel? The steel is there, so that will come to here. Then I can put in a ramp. Fine, I'll do it manually. Then I'll put in a ramp here, but this is going to be an up ramp, like that. And then I put in a splitter on the back of this, like that. And then I can extend this belt to here, join it onto the back of that splitter, and boom, just like that, steel is being provided on this belt. Then come over here and we feed the steel in. And we feed the, I don't even know, the pistons out like that. And that can then be taken way over there and put onto wherever the next lane of the bus is. Simple. Next one is to make the robot parts. So what goes into those? They were fairly complicated. Oh yes, the blast furnace and the core mine, no, not core mining, vein mining was all a little bit complicated, and then casting out the wafers. Oh, and digging the massive long tunnel to get them all the way back to the main base as well. That was quite an undertaking. So next up, robot parts. 1, 2, 3, 4 inputs and obviously 1 output. So we'll have, we'll go for 3 belts on this side. 1, 2, 3, and a 4th one for the inserters. So that goes there. And we say, I would like you boy, you make robot parts. There we go. And then we go, what do we need for that? I've forgotten already. Yes, it's the components from over there, which is going to be awkward because this belt's kind of in the way. Unless I go under for this one, which would be a little bit weird, but could be done. Thermalite, that's definitely going to be needed. Again, that's going to be kind of... they're all going to be in the way because of where this is. Maybe I should actually put this not here. I should put it, so there's going to be two other things, 1, 2, and the belts. So put this one here instead. Then, right, we need I have forgotten already what I need for this. Robot parts. Thermalite, advanced parts, electronic components, and pulp and plastic. So, there's the thermalite, that's the first one. There's the electronic components, there's the advanced components, and there's the plastic. Right. So let's bring this one to here. Let's work backwards. It's going to be a lot easier to work backwards. So this comes out to, which side of the bus are you? You're this side. This comes to here. And then I put in my ramp again. Just as I did on the previous one, like that. And then, oh, sweet, I put it in exactly the right place. That's incredible. My estimate was spot on. And then we need to somehow clip this onto the back of there without it going in the wrong place. There we go, like that. No, bad game. Oh. The three building stuff in a 3D world with a 2D pointing system is a little bit finicky. I will not deny it. What are you? You're iron. Okay, that's good. Because then next one over, I need to bring the electronic components in from there to there, and then whack a splitter there, and a ramp there, and then a belt there. You see how easy this is when you have a nice, tidy, sensibly made bus system coming together. Then I need this one. That comes from there to here. I could put another splitter in here. I feel like I should fill in under all these belts with sand at some point, just to make it feel like the belts are supported. No, not there. No, still not there. Yes, there. We have a third one coming across here. Now the fourth one is going to be, and the fifth one actually, are going to be a bit difficult. But the fourth one is going to be the I forgot. Oh, the plastic from over here. Because I need to get that in either here or here, and this belt is going to kind of get in the way of that. I guess I can loop it back once it's gone up. That's okay. So let's build this backwards. So from over here, I want that belt to come all the way over here like this to here, and then we'll put in a couple of pieces like this so it stays out the ramp. Yeah, I mean, I will compliment the belts when they behave themselves. I mean, these ones are going in quite nicely, so at the moment I'm reasonably happy. I don't know how long I'm going to stay happy for, but right now, yeah, in a pretty good mood with the belts. They're being good belts. And I'm having third dimensional issues once again. Oh no, get a bit closer. That goes there, and then we run that all the way back. This should be the plastic. Yes, that's the plastic belt. There we go. So that's all the bits and pieces that are needed for this. Next up, we bring the other belt from over here like that. And then these two are both going to become part of the next row of the bus, which means they come in, we leave a gap of one, and then we rotate like, so we get to there, then we go down, and so they come in along here, and that is the next part of the bus. And the same with this one, which comes from there, lock it there, and over here, and down, and that's some more bus. And that means we've now got the pistons coming through on the bus, and once I put in all of the inserters over here, we'll have the robot parts coming through. Now, both of these are bound to be too slow, but speeding them up is as simple as copy-pasting, so I'm not too worried about that. Output. Then over here, we do all of them, 6, 7, 8. Boom, just like that. All of that then gets fed into the machine, which goes nom 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 nom, and starts making robot parts. I've got to say, I'm going to need them a lot quicker than this though. So let's copy. Oh, actually, all the machines are 3x3, so it doesn't matter if I come over here and go, I would like to do a no, I would like to do a... No, where's the button? Select area, that's the one. So I'll go from here to here because I want the pipes. Am I... Hang on. Okay, yes, I did start at the front. Good. So to here, and then up to wherever. Then I can do confirm, copy, and place. And I'd like to have 6 is a number. Let's have 6 times as many. That seems reasonable. Then I can do a confirm, paste, and some of it will get built. But I've run out of fluid assemblers, so I need to go and get some more of those. But basically, that should now work. It's going to put quite a load on the all of these inputs, at least for a moment or two, while we get this filled up and actually running and populated. But that's okay. Also, where the hell is my construction ship? Does it not like digging out? No, it can't be that it doesn't like digging out when there's an overhang, because only some of it has an overhang. I think it's just lazy. Let's put in another request and see if that helps. If in doubt, give it more to do. And then we'll go up, 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 and take out the top of this mountain as well. There we go, like that. It's only going to get worse next time when I have to take out a huge bite of the entire mountain. So yeah, you better get started. Unless it's filled up or something equally daft. Let's go and have a look. See if maybe it's filled up a buffer. I thought it fed them unloaded into there, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe it unloads into its own landing pad. Let's have a look. Go away. Ah! No, it has potentially filled up. Because we've got an enormous... Well, we've got a lot of stuff in there. So maybe that means it's full. Yeah, there's items still in the ship's cargo space. It's trying to unload mining blocks into building social storage. Right. Okay, so there is a machine that will turn random resources like this into useful things. However, first, let's... I'm going to need to do something here, I think. No, it's not the one, not tool I want. It's not going to help. I want this tool, and I want it on full size. So that, yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out all of the junk this has picked up and put it into a storage system for the temporary time being. That's a 2x2. I said 4x4. Yeah, there we go. And again there. And whatever. Right, so I'm going to put down a large warehouse in here. Not one of those, but one of... You can't really see it, but there's that one of the ones tucked in down there. So that is a large logistics storage. Logistics in this context simply means you can put things in and out of it with the inserters. So I'd like to make one of these, logistics container 2. So I'm going to need all of that stuff. Oh, I've been knocked out of the sky by a spaceship. How rude. Let's just go and get the bits and pieces for that. So what did I need again? Iron, steel, and advanced parts. There's some steel. There's some iron. I should have paid more attention to the numbers. There's some more steel. And where are the advanced parts? I know I'm making them somewhere around here. There they are. Oh, it's this machine. Right, yeah. Okay. Yoink. 200 is probably excessive, if I'm being honest, but oh well. Is that enough now to make... Yes, that's enough to make a logistics container. Okay, so we'll put this in now just to get the system up and working again and get that ship moving. Oh, wait, how do you unload this guy? Oh, from here. Right. Okay. I mean, that's not an impossibility, but it's slightly annoying. Okay. So much junk. Right, try again. Remove that lamppost. And remove all of that. Let's put in some foundation here like this. Then where's my shiny new logistics silo? There it is. Logistics container can go there. Then I can run. What's my fastest belt type? I've got greens, haven't I? So I'll take a green belt from there to there, and then I can put a number 6 on there. And there we go. That'll pour that into here. We'll be able to fit a lot of earth into here, I think. There's going to be an enormous amount of capacity because dirt now stacks really, really high. As you can see here, I've got 3,600 in this stack, so that should be able to put. There we go. Now it's gone off again to go and do useful things over on in the other side of the world. But in the meantime, there was something I remember finding out about that was for turning junk like that into resources. Don't see anything there. It's some sort of recycler type thing, but I don't know what it's called. This is the warehouse and things. What are you? You're an elevator. Fine. Those are the storage things. That's the assembly line. Greenhouse, flare stack, incinerate. What's an incinerator? Just destroys things, I think. But I think there was a recycler. But I might be completely making it up. Construction rubble does get recycled into something. Yes, that is true. It's possible that's what I was thinking of. But I don't think it was. I thought there was something else. Cargo shuttle, pipeline, freighter, cargo shuttle. Wait, what? Oh. Oh, liquid cargo shuttle, fine. Unless it was in the researchers, and I thought, I don't care about that. Ooh, extra excavation drones. That's just the personal ones, but still, that's worth having. Ooh, resource separator. That's the one. Yes, there we go. That's the one I wanted. So the resource separator can turn terrain blocks into valuable resources. So we'll get one of those. We'll run it. I mean, for the time being, we're fine running off here. As you see, we've got 1,200 in here already. We're fine just dumping the soil into this machine. But later, once we've researched that thing, we can then start using this in anger to maybe even produce some useful resources. All right, so there we go. The mining drones are droning and mining nicely over here again. Excellent. Oh, I needed more fluid assembly machines. And probably more normal assembly machines, because I do absolutely rip through them. So let's go and get some more of those as well. Okay, so over here we have the normal assemblers come from over here, where I've got the multiple, I've got the silly thing going over the top. Fluid assemblers, oh, for goodness sake. I have no idea. There's some fluid stuff there, but no. They're assemblers, so maybe they're going to be fairly cheap, and they're going to be along here somewhere. There's tier 1 assemblers, but I feel like they're a thing that turned up fairly late on in the game. So pump tier 3 explosives for throwing, crusher, smelter. Unknowns. Oh, these are all of those things. What do you make? Mining drill. What's the name? Vein miner. Maybe they're complicated then. Let's go look down this aisle, which I haven't labelled properly. This cargo drop, cargo pickup, geothermal boiler. And these are all on the other side because I'm apparently incapable of having any sort of consistency. Transport ship port, freight elevator. Assembler 2, flare start. I think I looked along here, but maybe I didn't look along here. Chemical process. Fluid assembler. There we go. Hurrah. Gimme. Right, so now I can bring up the pastometron and yeah, confirm paste, and then it'll be done. Right, so that is now producing stuff. Specifically, we're now producing the robot components and the hydraulic pistons that we need to make in order to make the actual parts for the robots. Let's remove this excess pipe along here because it's just going to get in the way. I'm going to fly into it basically. You know what I quite like in this game is if they could be a bit more consistent with their user interfaces. So this one is a click and then click at the opposite corner of the click and then click again to click to define a point. Click a second. Right, let's do that again with less stumbling over my words. This one is click to define a point. Make your mind up. Is it not suddenly? Oh, I didn't have the bulk one. Right. The bulk remover is click to define a point, click again to define a 2D shape, and then click again to define a 3D shape, and then it demolishes it. The selector for selecting these things and the copy paste things is click and drag to define a 2D shape, and then release, and then click a third time to define a 3D shape. I almost don't mind which way round it is, but I want them to be the same. Oh yeah, I could have done with more belts. That's a good point. Oh well, we'll see how far I get at this point. Okay, so now I can get back to the head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Head, shoulders, elbows, and toes that I was trying to make before. So I'll leave that much space here, and then I'll touch down here. And you know what? I'm gonna give it a hand because this is too slow. Getting the robots to do stuff for you is great if you're patient or plan ahead, neither of which are really things I'm known for, should we say. So let's just knock out a load of this. Give myself a bit more playroom. Right, and I can then extend this out a little bit further, and we can start making this first lot of robot parts. I don't mean I mean robot the one that isn't a sort of a thing that the game defines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the next machine is going to go in that wall there. It does do 5x5, but that requires more research. I currently only have the slightly limited version of it. Sounds like the bots are back. Yeah, they are. Actually, you know what? Let's turn on mine as well and get them digging because I might as well. It'll be slightly quicker. Right, so you are going to do you can do torso, and then you can do, that means you will then be doing head, like that. Lovely. And so the things that are required by multiple things. So the iron and the robot parts definitely need to come up the middle. I can't remember what goes into the arms and the legs. So let's put in another machine, just obviously in the wrong place, so that I can find out what the recipe for these is. Robot parts, yeah, and iron plates. So the other thing I bring up the middle here doesn't really matter. But since I've left room for 3 belts on the other side, let's make it one of the things for here. So I'll bring in pistons as well. So pistons, components, and iron plates for this one. Which means pistons, components, iron plates. I need to bring in barrels. I haven't made barrels. Bother. And energy cells. And plastic and CPUs. That's too many things. 1, 2, 3, 4. Duplicate. 5, 6. Ooh. This isn't going to work. I can't remember what I need for the barrels. We'll have to look into that in a moment. Yeah, I noticed that. I'll go out and put in some more solar panels in a minute, I think. It is night time at the moment. Let's have a look at the grid stats. Presumably, if it's suffering, the batteries are low. And there's loads of power in the batteries. Should be fine. And the fact the batteries are charging. There's loads of power in the batteries. The grid should not be strained. Don't be like that. So we've got. Yeah, maybe I thought that was iron plates when I was looking at this before. Because we've got 4 different things that need to go in here. And then another 2 over here, and that's 6. And that's not going to fit. If I have these things set up like this. Oh, maybe. Yes, it probably is transformer throughput limit. That's a good point. He says doing his best impression of a transformer. Oh, here we go. This one is struggling. And this has a massive number of assemblers and some mine. Yeah, I think it's this. Yes, you're quite right. It's this one where we've got 3 transformers in there and it's not enough. So I need to put some more transformers on that. I'll do that in a moment though, because I'm still trying to think if there's a sensible way to do this. I guess what I could do is have 3 coming through the middle of here, and they will take these 3 things. Yeah, I have a cunning plan, and actually this is going to be better for expansion purposes in the future. Right, so let's get the bots to do some more despotification around here. So we'll get them from here. What? Why is it in single block? How do you get into single block mode? Don't do that. So from there to, how far off have I gone? 16, I guess. Sure, that seems to be a number. And then up as high as you can. Yeah, all the way up here. And similarly down here. I'm going to do it again. So we'll go from there. This time we'll go back 17, I guess. But I want to go all the way to here where since I can. And then all the way up. Right, okay, well we'll leave... that poor fox is going to get knocked off his perch. Oh well, that's a him problem. Right, so let's get... While we're waiting for the construction ship to come out and deal with all of that... It's taking off again, or taking off already. Good. While we're waiting for that, let's go off and fix that power problem. So, back over here, I'm going to need to put in another transformer. Somewhere where there's 3 of them. There is the 3 of them. Lovely. So I'm going to need to come in and do some destruction. 2 by 2. Destruction came in 2 by 2. Hurrah, hurrah. Pew. Bit more of that. Bit more of that. Bit more of that. Will it work? It will work. Nice. There we go. That's easily solved. I'm kind of tempted to go in and put even more solar in, but I don't think I actually need it yet. So we'll leave that alone for the time being. In the meantime, is there anything else I need to do while I'm waiting? Because I kind of don't want to go over and start building over here because I need the robots to do an enormous amount of deconstruction before it's really worth me starting to do so. This whole, actually, you know what? Let's give them a hand. Let's switch over to let's use the orbital laser because that's what we have it for. Yes, the transformers do have a throughput limit, which makes things a little bit interesting. So let's just blow up all of this mountain here to like, ooh, that was some lag. Probably because I'm blowing up an entire mountain. So if I blow up all of this, it's going to make it a lot easier for the drones. The drones can come in and pick up the... oh, it's overheated. The drones can come in and pick out the bits down the bottom here where I might end up blowing up the stuff that I actually care about. But all these bits at the top will just blast off and nuke from orbit, as they say in the Aliens. And then the bots can come in and do the tidying up afterwards to make sure everything's sort of nice and neat. Yeah, this is probably a much more efficient way of dealing with it all. And way up there, way up in the sky, I don't have too much worry about accidentally blowing up a load of my infrastructure down here. I'm removing the hill because I want because I've got this sort of whole production bus thing going on along here, and I kind of want to carry it on in the same direction, and the hill's in the way, so therefore the hill has to go. It's a bit of a pain having to remove so much hill, but I think it's less of a pain than it would be if I tried to then take the bus up a mile, or tried to bring it back across over the top of it, or down, or anything like that. So I think this is probably better. Also, for some reason, the game has uncaptured the mouse. There we go. Now we've got the mouse back again. So yeah, the hill has to go, basically. Oops, I got a bit carried away and gung ho with the with the orbital laser and destroy some stuff. No, don't shoot down that way. Yeah, so far there's only been one minor crisis, should we say? And this is especially given that every time it fills up, it has to fly back over and unload again. Maybe I need to build another one of those construction ships, given how much I seem to be using them for. When I thought it was just for making the particularly large buildings, it didn't matter too much. One was plenty. But now that I'm also using them for removing mountains, I think I might need to make a second one. Because removing a mountain is a fairly major undertaking. The fox guy doesn't seem to be too bothered by me blowing up a mountain underneath him. He just sort of drops down a little bit and then is somewhere slightly different. So that's fine. Oh no, overheated again. Yeah, this is taking too long. Let's go and well, firstly, I'm going to fill in some of the hole down here and bring ground level to just up to underneath the bus, because that was the thing I was sort of wanting to do, and I think no, that 3, and I think this would be quite a nice thing to do. So that can go off to wherever it can. And then similarly over here. Is that the right level? Yeah, I think it is. From there to wherever. And then from there to wherever in this direction. And the nice thing is, if I've built anywhere, it won't fill in that gap. So this is just giving me a sort of a nice ground level to play with. Even if there's a massive hole underneath it that I'm probably going to dig through and fall into at some point, it's a nice sort of this is my now defined industrial ground level, and I think that's quite a nice thing to have. Especially if I start then carrying on doing the digging with the drones, then all of these holes are going to be fairly tidy. I'm not going to dig down any further than this, so it should keep things a little bit better. Right, and my own drones are going out and doing things again, so let's tell them to stop. Alright, and now let's go and put in another. Well, firstly I'm going to go and check what it's actually called, and then I can put in another one. I didn't hear a squeaking sound. Maybe I need to turn my headphones up a little bit. Right, what are you? You building, what are you? Oh wait, there's control panels around here. There it goes again. You are a control panel. It's a construction ship landing pad or something like that. Let's go and see if I'm actually making those. I did start making quite a lot of the advanced ship things at one point, but I don't know whether I kept making them or whether I cancelled all the assemblers because they were making too much stuff. What are you doing? You're making the pistons, fine. You're making electric arc furnaces, also fine, I guess. The other possibility is that I just handcrafted them all. Oh, transport ship port. This looks like the right sort of area. Transport ship port. That's those ones. You're not doing anything apparently. Freight elevator. You're not doing anything. Is this because they were taking in enormous quantities of input and I didn't want it to build too much? So this is taking in steel, advanced components, and goodness knows what else. So was it you? Are you the one who's been making these things? No, not cargo shuttles. These things could be. Well, there's quite a lot of other stuff that goes into that as well. So let's select that one. Yeah, there we go. It's filling up with everything except the batteries and the maintenance drones. I'm making maintenance drones already, though, so I can go over and grab some of those off the belts. Energy cells, though, are way over here. Actually, and also being brought over there, but that's not so useful. I need to dump some of this stuff somewhere. The machine I was just putting together requires the those. So let's do an inventory dump into that. There we go. Has that helped much? It's got me 2 slots available anyway. Let's pick up quite a lot of those. And maybe some more as well. And now I should be able to chuck them in the machine, and I think that's going to be everything it needs to... Is it you? Yes, it's you. To make it. And it's not. I still need the maintenance drones. Right, go and get maintenance drones. So this is something I think I really like, and I think the game should do more of. Is those aren't maintenance drones? Is doing things with the robots you're making in game. So I've got all these maintenance drones over here that are being made, but mostly they just get sold. They are of absolutely no use to me down here on the on the planet. They're only useful for being sold. So as far as possible, it'd be nice if as many of these drones as possible could be being used for other things, like using maintenance drones to make the flying things. Using it should require mining drones in order to make the miners, and so on and so on. Because then you've got a bit more of a reason to make those things, and producing them actually makes you feel like you've unlocked something. The combat drones could be used for if any combat things ever get added to the game, which I sort of hope they don't. The what else could we have? So I said mining drones. Maybe some of the other. I feel like lots of the bits and pieces could be used for something. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. And it'd be quite nice if it was designed with that in mind, I think. Right, so put you in there, like that. And then we can... oh yes, you're going to need power. So we'll power you from here. Yeah, just like that. And then we're going to need another belt coming out. Ooh, sounds like a raid. Hello, Solrun. Welcome. Welcome to you and your friends. Thank you very much for joining. Good to have you here. Welcome to Laurence is spending most of today digging away a mountain. However, the good news is I'm automating it, so we're not actually just over there hacking away at it manually. I have little robot friends who will do the hard work for me. And so far I've got 11,000 of the mountain has gone into this box. Wow. Actually, that's not true. Well, I don't know. So in order to automate things a little bit, I've got the yellow spaceship, well, the yellow aircraft that take off from here. They've both flown over here. Well, one of them's flown over here. The other one's still on its way over. And they are digging away at this mountain for me in order to give me a bit more space to build things, which is rather nice. Okay, fair enough. Well, if you're catching up on the VODs, then I can understand you wanting to dip out to avoid spoilers. That said, I don't think it's going to be enormously spoilerific. It is just a sort of a here are all the things I'm building, and here are the things I built last time. But yeah, I can understand wanting to sort of do one thing at a time, or watch things as they come out rather. Right, so let's select all of that, and now I've got a second ship to be doing the digging. Maybe it's not too unreasonable to say, yes, I would like to do all of that. So all these blocks that are marked with the blue that you can see here, this is the blueprint effect, they are waiting to be dug out, and this is unfortunately a rather big job. So I'm going to use the orbital laser once again to speed things up a little bit. Because, well, hopefully I can't destroy the bots. If I can, I should be very, very sad. Because I had to go and collect them. But no, I think it's probably alright. Oh, I was going to say most things aren't destructible in this game. That's not actually true. Most of the things you can build actually are destructible. And so I'm trying to be a little bit careful with this. And not blast holes in all the stuff I've already built. But blowing up the mountain like this is perfectly acceptable. That's what mountains are for, right? Oh, I took out one of my machines down here. That was clumsy. Especially as I now have to come over here and actually dig all this up by hand to return it to it goes back into my inventory as components, which is sort of handy. But yeah, I made a bit of a mess. So oops. But we have the drones are much tidier. They will fly over and dig up in a much more controlled manner. Unfortunately, I still don't have quite enough room over here to carry on building the way I want to. I guess I could turn my personal drones back on again. Yeah, let's do that. They can start digging away here while I think about what I've done over here. So, we've got this machine is making torsos, this machine is making heads, but I reckon that we can't have this machine making heads because there isn't room, there isn't capacity on the belt so I can fit in around it. So, I'm going to put this one in somewhere. So there's 1, 2, 3 belts, 1, 2... you see the problem I'm having here. There is an insufficiency of... there is insufficient space, basically. The drones are helping quite a bit, actually, now. And I'm glad I'm not trying to do this manually. So let's try and get this in the right place. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 belts. 1, 2 inserters. I'll put that there. So if that one's making bodies, this one needs to make heads. So I've now got heads, shoulders. Oh, and I need 2 of each of these. And then elbows. And toes. Heads, shoulders, elbows, toes. That's about right, isn't it? So, up the middle, I shall bring the robot parts, which are needed for absolutely everything. And I shall bring the iron plates, which are needed for absolutely several of them. And I'll bring up the... basically, I'll bring up the 3 things that are required for both for the limbs, because those are required on both sides of the bus, of my assembly area here. Then on the outside, over here, I can bring in the CPUs and the plastic. And then on this side, I can bring in the barrels and the energy cells. But I've forgotten once again, I've forgotten that I need to make barrels, and I haven't left room for that. What is in the barrel? Let's have a look. They are components, presumably. Yes, down here. Oh, it's just iron. So they're very, very easy to make. I might be naughty and squeeze them in over on the other side. What's being made over here? Oh, additional components. Yeah. So there is a what's the word? It has been done before. 2 belts and a space inserter. So put in a bit like that. Then I can put in a machine here. Let's line them up nicely, just because. And then you're going to make me some barrels, because I didn't think of putting them in sooner. Precedent. Thank you. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. It was apparently me remembering words is basically unprecedented. So this unfortunately is in the spaghetti zone. I need to get this iron out of the spaghetti zone and over to the machine over there. This looks like a big enough spot to dig to. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's not. I need 5 because I need... Oh, actually, no, that's not true. I can put the splitter underneath there. So I could actually put the splitter in underneath here, then have 1, 2, 3, and have it come out here. Yeah, I think that feels better. So, oh, there's even weirdness happening under here already. So, let's take out that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. Then I can put in a splitter, and this needs to be yellow. I'm working on yellow tier here. I want to put that in, yes, underneath the arches, I mean belts. So it goes here. Yeah, and then we remove that, and I can put this belt coming in here and here, and then out here like that. Then I can put in an upslope like that, and then a belt coming out from here like this. And if I'm really lucky, I'm not really lucky. I have insufficient fortune. Right, it comes out of there, then I guess it needs to go up again, so we'll go over the top of that to here. And then down, okay, to here then, and then we can go down. No, we can't. Okay, we can't go under it. Why are you being... Oh, I must have pressed the wrong button there. Right, so we'll actually go over that, like so, to here. Then we'll go down to, yeah, to here. And then in there, like, oh, I'm still too high. Wait, what? Oh no, that is okay. That's right. That is right. So I want to go to there, and then there. Ugh. That was definitely spaghetti time. But that means I am now ready to put in an inserter like that, and an exerter like that. You need to be an output one, boink, like that. Then I can put in conveyor from, well, I'll put it in from here just in case I do need to expand to more than one belt of those things. And then that needs to come along here. So we'll go to, okay, we'll go to here, then we'll go down, then we'll loop round and come along here, and then we'll run out of belts. I was warned, to be fair. And that's going to need to then move across one again, additionally, to leave the space in between these two belts for the bus. So let's go and get some more belts. This is the point where I would like to have logistics bots that will keep me supplied with all the building ingredients, just so that I don't have to keep flying back and forth across the world like this. But oh well. Or construction bots, so I just lay down blueprints and then bots will fly over and build stuff for me. Basically, I want all the quality of life things that Factorio has, because I'm greedy like that. I'm going to get some more ramps, because I am ramping my way through those. Splitters I seem to be okay with. I don't use them anything like as quickly. So we'll just grab those. In fact, you know what? Since I'm building so much with red, let's go and get some more, because there is another machine over here that builds red belts. For upgrading to better belts, but I can nick another 200 out of it very, very easily. That is better with two ships doing it. It feels like it's going much, much faster. Now, it's probably just because I got distracted and went off and did something else, and also shot at the ground a lot with the orbital laser. But still, it does feel better. Come on, copy that. That's just too far away. So go that way, because you need to be there. Go underneath that one, and then along here. And here be barrels. And here be bots doing all the digging, because that's slightly unfortunate, because we do need to get the barrels into here at some point. But in the meantime, right, so it's these three things. It's robot parts, it's robot parts, pistons, and iron need to come in here. So we're going to have belts that run up like this, zump, zump, and zump. There we go. And iron is going to be the nearer one, so let's put that in first. Where is iron? There is iron. So you come from there to right. So we'll have 2 for the slope and 2 for the splitter. So like that. Which side are we on here? Right, okay, so we go that way. So I feel like I need to make a blueprint of this and basically this whole sort of system where the resources are split off, brought up, and then fed over to wherever they go. Could we go the other way? There we go. Right, so that goes to there. Then I'll do exactly the same thing over here with these ones, but I need to chip out some of this rock first. Yum 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 yum. The personal bots aren't half bad either. I think possibly they've just got even better because I did a research that got me twice as many of them, which is making a big difference. So this one needs to go on this line. I think here. Yes. Here. Yeah. And then this one goes here. These belts then come from... Oh. Well, yeah, sure, it goes that way first. We go like that and like that. The smart drag for the belts is quite good. It's not perfect, but it's definitely quite good and better than the old system. So well done to the devs on that one. I appreciate that. Can we take this bit out, please? Thank you. I'll put that there. And then back over to the belts, and you go from there straight on till morning. You go from there to over there. Right, that is the first. That's the first three. In fact, that is all of the components required to make the arms and the legs. So we're all limbered up now. The tricky bit now is then on the outside of this one. I need to bring in the barrels and the energy cells for the torsos, and on the outside of this one, I need to bring in the CPUs and the polymer boards for the heads. Okay, so that's not. I mean, I say tricky bit. It's not that bad. What was I saying? So barrels and energy cells. The barrels are over there. They come in about here. I haven't really left enough space to get the legs out, but we'll make it work. Okay, so barrels here, please. Barrels. So we'll have that come to there. And then, once again, we're doing the whole sort of ramp and splitter thing in exactly the right place. What are the odds? Quite low, I suspect. And then energy cells. Energy cells are going to be somewhere on here. I know they're around here somewhere, because I'm sure I've fed them down here. There they are, and they're all being fed in here without being split. What? Oh no, take it back. Here they are. Here are the energy cells, so I need to bring them all the way from here, and then I need to drop them down and get them onto the bus somewhere. This is problematic because there isn't a place for them. Maybe I should have a high bus as well as a low bus, because this is starting to take up quite a lot of space. Let's put in that much belt and then go over here and think about that, because this is already getting quite wide. Yes, I mean, the space is infinite, sure, but I do have to dig away at quite a lot of mountain when I want to expand things. So I could bring in another bus at. So we've got this. Call this -1. This 0. We could have another one at +1. So we could have another bus that comes along, brings resources in at this height, and works in exactly the same way, but with downslopes instead of upslopes. So let's try that. So if I can bring this along here, like this, to at least to here, and then we go up, and in fact that is almost in line with what I'm trying to build, so that's really good. So we'll go to there, and then we'll just build to there. There we go. So we've now made a second tier of the bus. I maybe should have done that with the barrels. It's got a bit wide over there, but never mind. I think this is all right. So we've now got the batteries at this height, and that means which way around is the bus here? Okay, so I've got that directly above. I don't even know what's. Oh, that's mechanical parts down there. Fine. So I need to somehow get them off here, down and in. This is going to be a little bit cramped. Unfortunately, because this is so close to the machines, it should be a little bit further away, so there's room to get the down ramp in. But never mind, it's not going to be a serious problem. I can put in my down ramp here like that, and then there's room for a piece of belt there, and I can stick in a splitter here like that. And then if I've got my positioning right, I should be able to run this from the back of that. No, I've got it. I haven't got it right. However, that is where it's going to have to be. I wish, in hindsight, I'd put the I put it in going on in a straight line. Always not enough space in character inventory. Destroy that. What was that? Modular building template. That's useful. I don't care about railings. They can go. Don't care about hover engines. These are just. This is just me. Actually, you know what I should do? I should do it the whatchamacallit, even distribution way, and just go along here going boop, and you're a fluid one. I don't think I'm going to be able to put them in you. Get rid of any steel I'm holding, I suppose. None, apparently. That was not a problem. There we go. So that's calmed things down a little bit. Now, from here, let's get rid of that. It's not drag, it's click, and then move. That, and then again from here to, I don't want to take that out, so I'll only go to here, and then up to there, and then the third time from there to there, and then I can extend this belt, and now we'll try and put it in the right place, or in a slightly better place. So you come along here, yeah, so we'll go to about there, and then we'll start the coming down. But I want to be, yes, above this, so I want to be at that height. There we go. Now we're cooking with unobtainium. So now I can chuck that straight into the back of there, like that, and the batteries will go in. I've got some batteries already in my inventory because I picked up a load, so we'll chuck those in here like that. 125 of them, in fact. Wowzer. So we'll put those in there, get them out of my inventory. Right, so is that barrels? Yes, that's barrels and put it in the wrong place. That needs to be on the other side because you can't insert from there. Right, let's try it again and get it in the right place this time. So this goes there, then we have a piece of belt there, then we have a splitter there, then the batteries come down and they go in. Right, so I can then run that along here like this, and then we've got all the inserter space down here we need. So, no we haven't. Oh, yes we have. I can put that there, and then that there, and then that there, and that's my output. Then over here, you don't need all these, do you? No, you just need the robot parts, which is the tier 2, which is the length 2. So that goes there. Similarly on this side, you're going to need everything. So you have that, and that, and that. It occurs to me, this system, this sort of design, no, you don't need everything. You're not making those. You just only need the middle one, so you don't need that. This is not going to work because there isn't going to be room to put all of the inserters on these machines. Oh, so I need to put all 3 of these things into machines on both sides, and I can't do that. This is turning out to be harder than I expected. So, for example, I can do that and that and that, and we're getting everything in there, and then I can put that one in there to match it, and that one in there, but I can't get the third one in. There's no way to get the iron plates into this machine, so I guess I'm going to have to bring those in on the outside of here, which is awkward because that's going to get in the way of other things, but we'll just have to make it work. Over here we've got the output of that one there. Then I'm going to need to put in an up ramp here immediately, like this, to take those away. Yeah, I'm trying to build in a compact way, which is obviously nonsense because you don't have to in these sort of games. But yeah, and yet I still am. No, give me some belt. There we go. There we go. So that runs along. Oh, can you not go at that height? Well, okay, there goes that plan. I guess we're just going to run at a speed of 1 then. So we'll take those out and take that out. Oh. So my plan was to have the... Oh, I could go down instead, actually. That would have worked. We'll see if I need to... If I need to expand it later, then I'll do that. There we go. So I can have them come out there, and I can have these come out there. But we'll only run at a speed of 1 every 15 seconds with this, which is a bit of a shame. I was sort of designing it with the intention of being able to potentially run faster later when I inevitably realised that 1 robot every 15 seconds is insufficient. We'll see how this goes. I'll finish off this one as a sort of a proof of concept, and then go back and rebuild it properly later, I guess. So over here we're not getting iron into. We're not going to be able to get iron into these machines, which is infuriating. But we'll deal somehow. Yeah, I forgot. So in Factorio, you can have opposite machines taking from the same belt because the inserters don't have physical space like these grabby things that like these loaders do. In Foundry, you have to design a little bit differently, and my Factorio brain took over and didn't listen to a word anyone else said. So I still need CPUs and plastic and more iron now over here. So that shouldn't be too difficult. Let's fill this hole in while I'm here. I say fill it in, I'm just sort of covering it over. Alright, so iron is going to be the first one. And it's going to come out here and then go up to, so it needs to come from there. Yes, there. Then we put in the ramp. Then we put in the belt. Like so. Then it's CPU cores and plastic, I believe. Plastic is here. CPU cores are not a thing yet. Apparently, I mean, I know I'm making them, but I don't think I got them onto my Robo bus yet. So let's go and find out where they are. Green circuits, though. Not a huge number of them, though. Right, so processors. They are being made here? No. Yes. Yes, here. This block. So we've got processors coming out along, or CPU cores coming out along here to here. Right, okay, fine. I need to bring those out and along the bus of the infinite bus of doom. So let's give you a belt that will go from there and we'll go up, not down, up. And we'll join onto, we'll meet this one. We'll go to here and then we'll go up again and run along right next to this belt because I'm just going to keep it next to this one forever. So go down to here, then for some reason up and down are the opposite way round to the way I think they're going to be, and which is why I keep getting it wrong. I expect Q to be up for reasons. I don't know what those reasons are, but I definitely expect it to be up, and it isn't. Alright, let's build that much before I press a wrong button and lose everything I've designed. So CPU cores, then this just goes from here. This goes a long way, and then I run out of belts again. Hurrah! Let's go and get some more belts. Belts, yes, down here. This game is very expensive in belts. I'm using horrendous numbers of them. Are you belts? No, you're not belts. Are you belts? Yes. Give me. Okay, so there's my. At least the energy cell belt is very, very obvious from high up because it glows. So then come along here. I've changed how I'm doing things. This was sort of a vertically orientated series of belts. Now I'm going to sort of go a little bit horizontal at the top of it because so that comes along to here like that. Then it goes down. I said to here like that. Mark the point. Okay. Oh, it's because holding shift because I was trying to fly fast. Then we go down to here, and then we come along here and we are a bus at this altitude, and that comes all the way past here. And I should have done this one first because now the belts are going to get in the way of things. The iron should have been the second one. This should have been the first one because this comes through sooner, more over to the right as I'm looking at it now, or to the east as it were. Right, okay then, well let's just get rid of that. Zoop, zoop, zoop. Oh, I took out the foundations as well. Put that back. Right. So now we put in. Yes, we have a belt coming from here like that. Comes to here. Then it goes up. like that. Yes, good. Yes, but without the piece on the end, because we don't need that. Then we remove that, that, and that. And then I can put in a splitter here. Like that. And that's my batteries being... my circuit... my processors being brought in. It works out eventually. Next there, and back to... oh, yeah, of course, there's one extra one along there. So put that... no. Put that there. Don't put that there. Then we have a belt come from here, where it goes up one. Oh. For fiddly stuff, you apparently have to do it manually. Who knew? That goes in there. Oh, but no, both of these stop here. No, they don't. The iron belt carries on. And then we have the plastic belt, finally. Nearly there, promise. Give me a splitter. There we go. Plastic belt will be in line along here, next to this one, and that will be somewhere over one after that one. I don't think I got that in the right place at all. No, I didn't. That's better. Link that back from there to the plastic belt over there. And then once more we do the up and the across. And this goes to here as well. Like that. Oof. This is kind of mess. I don't like this design anymore. But I sort of feel like I'm stuck with it, which is kind of wrong. There's a definite fallacy in there. It's definitely a sunk cost fallacy going on. But I still feel... I'll put these the wrong way around. I feel like because I've built this far, I want to carry on and just finish it off. You can go there and... no, you can't. Because I've built this much of it, I feel like I might as well just finish it off as I'm doing it, rather than try and change the design in the middle. Maybe the next robots I make, maybe I'll make in a more intelligent way. We'll see, or probably more likely I won't. Okay, so there's the processors coming in. That should now be absolutely everything all of these machines need. And let's do an inventory dump into them because I've picked up a load of stuff. Can we have the game capturing the mouse, please? Thank you. I picked up some things that should be in these machines rather than in my inventory. Right. Okay. Are we happy? Happily building things? I mean, no, because there aren't any exerters in most of the places. Do that and that. Make them output. Like that and that. Then I can run a belt from there along here. Belt from there along here. And now, that is all of the parts of a robot, I believe, because we've got one of the limbs and the head over here. We've got the other limb and the torso over here. So I think we're now good to start actually making robots. After 2 and a bit hours of streaming, I can actually do what I was planning to do right at the start. Which is kind of crazy. So I'm going to take out all of this foundation because I don't believe I need it for the assembly lines. Then I can go in here. I can put down an assembly line start. So I have one of those can go here, and I believe let's put it over this way just for sort of sake of tidiness. I don't know. That goes there. And I believe I need to feed in the torsos into this one, which is this one. So this belt needs to go into this machine somewhere. It's down there. Okay. So you go along here and in there. Like that. Lovely. Then I put on a quantity of assembly parts. So let's put in a couple. Let's put in some producers. I'm definitely going to need at least 3. One for the head, one for each leg. Oh, these are a lot wider. All right, remove you. You actually are going to be further over. I will put this in the middle because the assembly assemblers are significantly wider. So right, put you there. Then we'll have, as I say, at least it's going to be at least 3 of these. It might be 5, one for each arm and one for the head, or it might be that the arm ones can do both arms. I don't know at this stage, so we're going to experiment. This belt then comes along here, right? So they're all on inserts are all on that side. I don't know if I could have flipped them. I don't think I can. So that's going to go in there. No, it's not. No, 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 and also no. Believe it or not, no. That is going to go in there because you start off with the torso. I know this from the instructions. Then this is a limb. I forget which. I don't know which limb. I also don't care which limb. So it's going to come over this way to here, and then this way and down. Okay. And then down, and then in there. And now I think let's plug this in and see what happens. So I'm going to need to bring high voltage power all the way over here. I've got some here though, so that's not too bad. Try and run it up the middle of the bus somehow. And I could run it along the top of the bus, but no, that's ridiculous. Okay, I need to remove that tree. I was wondering when that tree would finally be in the way of something and have to go. It turns out now is the answer. No, don't put it up there. Oh, this is going to be awkward. How long can this? How long can you go? Certainly that long. So let's go with that for the time being. And then okay, that long. So there. This is where things start to get complicated. So let's put a pylon in there and then just run the cable through until I can get it to somewhere sensible like that. And then along here like whoop. So, and you know what? I'm just going to put this on top of this assembly machine because why not? And then plug into there. Is that going to then power all of these machines? Where's your control panel? I can't tell. Can't tell what you're doing. No, you're not connected. Okay, so they don't power each other. They just bring power. They just, yeah, they're very selfish. So do that. There we go. Right, now I can drop in here and start looking at things. So, you need to be configured. Fine. You're going to make farmer robots because that's what we have. Zzzt. And there's a farmer robot torso. Lovely. Is it going to go straight through here without? Is it going to stop at the machine? It's going to stop at the machine. Nice. Okay, so you're going to configure. Yes, do a farmer robot. Oh, right. This is going to be a lot more bits than I thought it was going to need. This is going to need 10 of them to attach all of the limbs and then weld them in place. So we'll do an attach. No, hang on. Oh, it is an arm. Okay, that's fine. Attach an arm. Attach right arm. So I'm going to need to split that, and then we can weld the left arm, and so on. Okay, so down here, this needs to be split, so I can do that easily enough by pulling out that, and that, and then where's my splitter? There's my splitter number 9. Put that in there, and then we have another belt comes from here. And goes in there. So that's going to be attaching both the arms, and then they can be brought along here to be welded. Then I need more of these. So that's 4. That's good. So that's going to do all. That's going to put on all the limbs. Then I'm going to put a 5th one there, and then I'm sort of tempted to just swing it round and bring it back up again over here like this. Because otherwise it's going to be... But then actually that said, it's going to be easier to flatten this area than it is to flatten that area. So I might as well carry on out this way and just keep my assembly line going in a straight line. So let's do that. Let's take out tool number 1, and we'll go from there to there. And then to there, just in case. Right, so now the bot should come over, the construction ship should come over and remove all of that for me, and I can carry on going out forever, essentially, in that direction. In the meantime, what am I doing along here? So we've got, is that left arm? I can't tell the difference between left and right arm because I don't know whether the bot is facing me or not. So this is weld arm left, so this should be weld arm right. Oh, it's not connected to the grid. Configure farmer weld arm right. So I could put the head on here with this one. Well, I'll see what's where and what's the easiest one to bring in next. In fact, they're all just here, aren't they? So they're going to have to cross over. That looks like a leg. That's legs. So we'll bring the legs in next. I can go from there, and then it can go up. And it can get to here and turn, and then go along here. And then I guess it can... Wait, no. This should be the head. No, never mind. I was going to carry on in a straight line. Forget that. I was going to say, I'll put the head on this one, and then it can be attached. And then when it swings around and comes back up the other way, we can feed the other components in from the other side. But no, that's not going to help. So yeah, you're welding. You're going to be attaching the next thing, which is going to be a leg. So we'll put in that there and a splitter here. This is interesting and different and somewhat complicated, so we'll do that, and then this can carry on like this until we have another one of these in, which we haven't quite got the space for yet, but the bots are working hard at clearing out the terrain so that I can start using it. Can I put another one on yet? No, there's still a bit of land in the way. But along here you can now see we've got the robots are now fully armed. Pun entirely deliberate, as I'm sure you're aware. Then we'll put on the left arm. No, attach left leg, sorry. There we go. Suitably leggy. And then we can put on the other leg, and then we can weld them in place. Let's put another one there, and another one. And... okay, we're not ready for another one yet. So now we attach leg right. The fox has found its way down here. In hindsight, I probably should have put it all together first and then welded it all up, because then I wouldn't have had quite such long belts bringing all the components in. But never mind. Also need to bring the heads over. Apply directly to forehead. Yeah. So you're going to go up an additional one to come to here, and then go this way, and down. No, can't do that yet. To here and down, here and down, and then we'll put them. Actually, we'll put them in here, like that, rather than doing the welding at this point. We'll put the head on, because then I don't have to worry about digging more space, making more space. So farmer robot, attach head. There we go. They'll arrive eventually. And in the meantime, I think we might need a bit more space. Even more space. However, the good news is we've kind of got to the edge of the that hill, so there's not going to be quite as much digging to do to get some more space here. Then we're going to need another 1, 2, 3. Doesn't fit. I'm not sure why it doesn't fit. What's in the way? Oh, there's a vegetation in the way. Is there? I don't see a vegetation. Oh, down there, directly under me. Yes, that thing. That bush is blocking my glorious assembly line. There we go. Oh, power. Let's get the power in place. It's annoying that they don't just pass power between them along the assembly line. Oh no, they're out of sync. Oh. There we go. Let's try it again, but put them in the right place this time. 1, 2. And then power line. Bip. What are you doing? You're not doing anything. You're putting on the heads. Yes, we've got. These are now basically complete robots, except they need to be. They need welding up. So we'll weld the head. And we'll weld a leg. And we'll weld another leg. Right. I think at this point, the robots have been fully assembled. That doesn't mean they're done, because they do also need to be painted before we can do anything else with them. However, I think it might be entertaining to wander along the line and see them being sort of gradually put together. So if we come all the way back up here, we can see the torsos are being put onto the assembly line, are coming out along the rails here. Then we're putting on an arm, like that. Then the other arm. Then they're getting welded in place. Then we put on a leg, and another leg, and a head. And weld it all up together, and boom, there is a kind of finished robot. But as it says, next step is painting. So, that's going to be relatively easy. In my pockets I already have an assembly line painter, so I can grab one of those and put it in here like that. However, this requires paint to be brought in, funnily enough. So I'll link it up like that. So it's got power. And I can come down here, and presumably I'm going to need then tell it to paint a farmer robot. I can choose colours and thing. I can give it a colour scheme. Well, it's obviously going to be mostly blue, because that's my colour. I'm quite tempted to make the to do this, so I can tell which way it's going. Port and starboard lights on the robot. But no, let's just make the whole thing blue, because that looks silly. Okay, so farmer robots. Actually, it's a farmer robot. It should be green. Let's make it green. There we go. Give it a blue head. All my robots can have blue heads. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go along. Can you tell? So, that means I need to now start making paint, which is going to be another thing, obviously, that needs to be made in order to make the robots. But after they've been painted, then I think I can shove them straight into a launch silo, one of these sort of things, and they can be taken off to space to be sold. So I am very, very nearly there. I just need to make some paint. And then we're making these robots at the glorious speed of 1 every 15 seconds, which is frankly pathetic. And I'm going to need to redesign the system here in order to do it a lot more quickly. Or maybe I'll just go on and do the next robot and come up with a better design for that system, and then come back and update this one to afterwards to replace it with the sort of an improved design, should we say? Because what I reckon I should probably do is forget the idea of trying to have multiple banks here like this. We've got the two different types of things being made, and just have them all in parallel. So we've got more. It'll take up more space, but who cares? It'll be twice as wide, and so that means I can then make my assembly line loop round and come back again. So it'll be much longer that way, but half the length this way. Although that said, I am still going to need to fit the. I'm going to need to put a spaceport in on the end of it, so actually that doesn't help so much. maybe I should put the assembly line next to this production system, because then when I decide I want to expand this, it's just a case it can be expanded outwards and downwards like that. That's probably more sensible. Oh, there are inputs on this side as well. I didn't notice that. I could have brought these down this side and fed them in instead of bringing them up and over. They're in place now. I'm not too worried about it. I'll leave that as is. I am going to knock out all of these plants because they are going to cause me issues otherwise. A little bit of mild deforestation never hurt anyone, right? It is going to fill my inventory up with organic matter, unfortunately, but never mind. You know, it'd be quite nice if a falling tree would damage things on the way down, but it's also probably a good thing that it doesn't, because most of the time that would actually be incredibly frustrating rather than just sort of entertaining. These little bushes are a little bit deceptive because you don't realise that. So these sort of bushes don't count. You can just build straight through them, but these ones do have to be destroyed by laser, and those ones don't have to be. Those ones apparently don't have to be. Those ones don't have to be. It's a little bit. Takes a little bit getting used to what you can build straight through and what you can't. That's actually probably low enough down that it wouldn't be a problem. Okay, right. So paint. Before I fly over and start putting things together, what do you need to make paint? Paint. There it is. Low density olumite, olumite gas, and water, and that makes paint. Okay, that's totally a thing. Right. How are we going to? Where are we going to make that? Well, we're obviously going to make it over in the petrochem area because I don't want to run multiple pipes down here if I can get away with running just one pipe down here, basically. So, put that away. Over here, I will probably have all of these things, and hopefully, I mean, I wouldn't expect to need particularly enormous amounts of paint. They're not. You see how big these pipes are. If I'm making a robot every few seconds, surely I'm. Well, we'll find out how much paint I need, won't we? So I have to identify which pipe is holding what, and try and get things into the right places. So that one of those is crude. I think that's water, and that's crude. But we need the low density, which is the pink one, and the olumite gas, which is the pale blue, and water, which is that one up there. So what are you? You're presumably waste gas. There's nothing in there. That's the wrong, completely the wrong colour. That's the wrong colour. That's the wrong colour. Oh, there's some pink over there. That's not what I meant to press. That's what I meant to press. You are, yes, you're low density. That's pink there. I forgot what I needed again. Low density. So it is this one, but I also need the gas, which is could be and that's liquid polymer. So it's your low density. Your liquid fuel. So are you. You're the same pipe. Your water. I don't even know if I'm making the liquid. And also, they're different colours in different parts of the user interface, which is very unhelpful. Oh, there's olumite gas. Nice. So that's the gas. That's acid. So that's no use here. But in the middle here, we've got the gas there. I've got the water over there, and I've got the other one, the low density over there. So if I build in the middle here, this seems reasonable. Right. Should make the robots unpainted and make money selling overpriced and tiny containers of paint. Yeah, I like the way you're thinking. Make them, yeah, it's a bit like the Games Workshop model. What are you made in? You're made in a chemical processor. Okay, well, a chemical processor is words. Right. 4x4. So take out a chunk here like this. Then I'm going to run out of space in my inventory. Oh, for goodness sake. This is getting quite annoying. Just not having enough space in my inventory for anything I'm trying to do. And it's my fault for carrying around too many machines with me. I understand that. But also, it's quite annoying. And too many different types of belts. Maybe I should just stop using red belts and start using yellow everywhere. So I'd only have to carry around 2 types of belts. That would be a step in the right direction, I suppose. I don't think I need a lamppost. I probably should have put it somewhere to light up a chunk of my base. I'm never going to use this escalator. Let's get rid of it. What are they? Oh, I've got a load of farmer robot parts as well. I should put those into the appropriate machine to get rid of them. But anyway, that's going to be enough to then at least allow me to dig out this space and turn it into a chemical plant. Right, and are you a chemical plant? No, you're a distillation column. Chemical. Was it chemical processor? That's what it's called. Right. So you've got many inputs. Outputs. Are they at the same height as that pipe? Conveniently not. Okay. So let's put you there. No, let's put you there. And then try and get you set up to do sensible things like make paint. So, paint. This one needs to be the pink goop, which is going to come through from here somehow. Probably. It comes from here. All right, let's take it from here. There is a way. There's room to get through there. So remove that. Put in a T-piece like that, and then a pipe that goes from here to here. You know, let's give the smart drag thing a try again. I mean, that's the point. Is the point of it? So I want you to go to here and here, and you were the first one, weren't you? Yes, you were. So into there. Lovely. So there's my pink. Next one is the gas, which was that one, I think. Were you the gas? I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna have to check. Yes, that's the gas. So can I actually? No, I can't. Right. So from. Oh, and I made that pipe too long. Great. So down, and then yes, across to here. Can you merge with that? No, you're just gonna go red. Okay. So I need to pull that out. Then I need to manually put in a T intersection, I think, like that. So that's those two. And then the third one was water, wasn't it? Which should be quite easy. Yeah. So bring that over to here. I'm pretty sure that's water. Let's just check. Yes, that's water. And another T in here. Right, that is everything except somehow. Okay, to be fair, that is quite a long pipe. I'm not that surprised. It's complaining about it. Okay then, I guess I'll pull out that, and I'll put in a pump here. At least, the downside of pipes over belts is that you have to worry about length of them, but I can't complain too much. Go there. There we go. That's my pumping. Probably, yes. And now I think you should be making paint. Yes, you are. Excellent. Right, where the hell am I? How am I going to get my paint from here, all the way down to here? I guess run it through, or just run it down to here, in a dead straight line, because why not? And then bang through the mountain this way. Right, it's piping time. Let's go and get some more pipes before I start, because there's no way I've got enough in my inventory. And I put in that convenient storage thing here to hold lots and lots of pipes for me, and that has now just taken all of the steel in the world. We're just making pipes to put in a box, but that's fine. Yeah, I suppose when there's no real reason for things to be in a certain order, then games like to express their independence from the standard by using a different order, and you can't really complain about it because you're just saying, well, why aren't you like the competition? And they say, well, why should I be like the competition? And you go, I don't know. So, yeah. What have we hit already? Oh, it's a tree. Go away. Right, and then we'll go from here. And we'll go... Oh, underneath that. That's nice. But then we're going to go smack bang into the side of this building. So, let's go this far. And then let's use the smart mode again. So we'll come over here and fly straight into a tree and not be able to see what the hell we're doing. Right, so there we go. So we'll go this far. Squeeze between them here. And then it's a clean sailing until we hit this mountain. Boom, like that. Then I'm going to build a tunnel, because I haven't dug a tunnel today, and it's been a little while since I dug a tunnel, so we're going to have one here. And at least now with the new laser tunneler, it's... Do you mind? Could you do it properly, please? Right. At least now if I can do a 2x2, it's a lot less painful than it used to be to dig a long tunnel like this. So I don't mind quite as much. Now I could use the boring machine, but the boring machine does a 5x5, and that's frankly excessive. I don't even need a 2x2. Although I suppose maybe I do to an extent, because then if I have a 2x2, then I can run along the tunnel as well as running a pipe along the tunnel. I'm not sufficiently familiar with item rarity colours, because I've only really encountered quality type things in Factorio. I never played WoW, so whilst I think I'm aware that legendary is traditionally purple, I don't really know what colour these things are expected to be. So I don't have any skin in the game. I just don't care. But I can imagine it's the sort of thing that people would would have very, very strong opinions about, shall we say. The problem with this tunnel is going to be getting power into any pumps that I need to put down. So I guess I'll put one in just before it goes into the tunnel, and then see how far we get. Ooh, I've overshot a little bit. If I go here, where am I pointing? Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, I suppose it yes. So, but then I was going to say it's because those colours have become long established for the various different qualities or tier levels or whatever you want to call them. But then Factorio has also been long established, at least by the time these sort of games are starting to come out. That said, even Factorio doesn't really consistently do its own colour systems. So yes, the belts go yellow, red, blue, green, but assembly machines go grey, blue, yellowy green, and there's probably other examples as well that I can't think of off the top of my head. But so yeah, it's even inside Factorio, it's not actually consistent. So yeah, what can you do? This whole area is a bit of a mess. This is the difference. This is an area I carved out with the orbital laser. That's an area I carved out with the construction bots, and you can see how it's a little bit neater. Right, so I'm going to put in a pump here because it's bound to need one. And there's actually low voltage power over here already, so let's drop this back down to a 1x1 and run a piece of foundation over. At least I assume there's low voltage power because there's foundation, and that's what we usually use foundation for. Why are we in vertical mode? Because I did a vertical build earlier and it's remembered, and I can't really fault it for that, even if I'd rather it didn't. So that goes to there. Then I remove a couple of pieces of pipe from here. Bip pop. The fact that I've got this far without needing a pump makes me cautiously optimistic that I might get all the way to the other end of this really long tunnel without needing one. I don't know what the numbers are off the top of my head, but we shall see how we go on. So that goes there. That is, give me a green light. Green light, excellent. Then we do a pipe. So let's try and keep track of how many I've put in. That's 39, because there's already one. I wonder why it's 38 per drag. 39, 60, 70, 77, 115, 135, 138. It hasn't gone red yet, so cautious optimism. 139. 108, 779. I can pop out over here, and here is going to be... Yes, it hasn't gone red. Excellent. Well, in that case, I'm just going to carry on building from here, because why not? But anywhere out here, I can put in another. I can put in another pump if I want to. So we'll run you to... Actually, no, we won't run you to there. We'll run you over above this this belt here. So switch over to the smart mode. So smart mode does have its uses for this sort of thing. When you want to put in an S shape or something like that, it is a lot easier to do it like that. Are we red yet? No, still not red. Wow, I'm quite surprised. So we can then come to here. So we'll keep it at this point, set a fixed point, and then go down, 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 and into there. And now we've gone red. Okay, I mean that's fine. It is a very, very long pipe at this point. I don't mind. I could put in let's put in a pump here because I have power available. So, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, and then no, that's wrong. There. So take that piece out. Then take out that one, and then I can put in a pump in here. There we go. I'm okay with that. At least it managed the whole big area where there wasn't any power available. At least it was able to run that far without needing another pump. Yeah, good point. Yes, inserters don't fit either. So you're quite right. It is glitchy. Right, well, all the paint we've made seems to have just disappeared out of the pipe. So it looks like I hope we don't. We're probably not going to need too much paint. Comment was massively inaccurate. Am I going to need to build an area that is just for making paint because I'm going to get through so much of it? I don't know. Or maybe it's just filling up an internal buffer in this machine. It's filled up with 5,000 litres of paint. 5,000 litres of paint to paint robots this size seems a touch excessive to me, but sure, why not? So the final piece of the puzzle is going to be one of these, an assembly line shipping pad. Now I'm making shipping pad mediums somewhere, so either it or one right next to it can. So I can either reprogram it to make them, or I can. If I change it's going to dump the entire lot into my inventory, isn't it? I just know it somehow. Okay, let's go and make a... let's actually look at this guy. Do you think you're finished? Completed, ready for shipping. Awesome. So that is now a finished robot. Cool. I have made, like... the whole stream, it's 11 o'clock now, I've made, like, 3 robots. Well, that's... At least the any future robots will come out a bit quicker, like one every 15 seconds. Where on earth am I making medium spaceballs? Okay, what goes into them? Concrete. Oh, I remember. Yes, I started building them somewhere else. It was, if I follow the... Yeah, it was over here somewhere because there was concrete. I think. Where does the concrete come out of the ground? Probably not at all over here, because why would you put concrete in... Oh, no. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, there we go. We've got one already. Sweet. So I'll take that, and I'll do an inventory dump and not have any emergency beacons to make the next one with. But sucks to be future Laurence, basically. Then, right, now I can come back over here in the backpack, get out the that. Give me that. And presumably it clips onto the back of here somehow. Oh, it's going to need grounding it. How do you work? I can't tell. Presumably you have an input somewhere on you that takes these robots that we're making. So you need to somehow clip onto here. But it probably needs to be on foundation. So let's put in some foundation, and we'll assume, for reasons of sanity, that it's the same distance off the ground. Which I don't know which bits counts as foundation here. How big is it? Is my next question. It is a sizable thing. It is 27 by 31. $27. Jeez. Okay. That's enormous. That's that big. Okay. And I'm not even 100% sure this is the right height to be putting it in at, but we shall see. And it's going to be off sideways a bit, probably. But let's put down 27 by 31, so then we can work it out from there. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to go out 25, which is to here, and then to here. I'm amazed that I've seemed to have had enough foundation in my inventory to build that. That is an enormous construction. But I guess I've been deliberately carrying around large amounts of foundation for this very sort of reason. So we'll just come through here and zap all these plants into oblivion. Like that, and that, and that. And then I can fill in all these holes. Oh, missed a few. Right, so that is the right amount of space for a landing pad. Jeez. Okay, so let's put in the landing pad and go, where do you fit? Where are your inputs mostly? So you go there. We fly over here and have a look. Actually, that's really, really close. Do you think if I just move that one square that way, it's going to fit perfectly? I think it might. Oh, and one square this way as well, so they actually meet up. Sweet. So, in that case, over here, one more row of foundation like that. Have I gone too far? Oh, there's a little bit over here that doesn't actually... Oh no, so that's because I put it in the wrong place. So get rid of that, and get rid of this. Oh, it takes a long time for a large building. There we go. Right, and now we get that back out again. That's you. And this time we'll try and put it in the right place. So I want to have it there. I'm pretty sure. Right, and that has now linked up. Sweet. And now down here we're going to find that we have no power. Oh no, it doesn't need power. Okay. So we can configure that to transport from the factory to the space station. We would like to send farmer robots because that's the one we've made. And I guess probably, let's just say whatever. You can use whatever ships you like. Oh, and in they go. Big spray of paint. That's surprisingly neat for the way they're being painted. Alright, so that is feeding in some bots now. Eventually, we'll get a ship down to come and grab them. No cargo ship inbound, that's fair enough. I mean, we're gradually filling it up. Now, this isn't going to keep up for very long. I'll be curious to see which part of the system is the slowest. We have a lot of stockpiled robot parts over here. So I think we're going to be making them for a good while. Oh, no, we've run out of torsos because that was the shortest belt. Therefore, there were the fewest number stockpiled on it. So now we need to wait for the next torso to be built, like... It's not building. Why are you not building? Doesn't have any iron. Any old iron? No, apparently not. There we go. Have some old iron. Right, now it's building. So we stockpiled massive things of everything else. Oh right, yes. Yeah, I think yes. Yeah, for removing the landing pad, holding down shift would have been better. Yes, you're quite right. Right, so there's a torso coming through. That's gonna go in there. And here comes the choo-choo train. No, here comes the farmer robot. Arm. What happens if it runs into me? Pushes me along, okay. Well, there's the next arm. So yeah, we can see the possible steps we could do here of welding and attaching and so on. So we can now go weld it in place. Nice. This is quite slow. But I suppose that's the point of an assembly line, is it doesn't matter if the actual line moves relatively slowly, because you can have a lot of things on it. Run out of torsos is a strange thing to say. Yes, it is. Yeah, maybe we could make a robot that consists entirely of arms. That'd be fun. Or maybe put some extra legs on it and make a Spidertron. Head. And then we get some weldy bits happening. Bzz. I don't know why the assembly machines can't weld and put the belt on, put the body part on at the same time. It doesn't take very long to do the welding, but never mind. How's not to reason why? Oop, I've walked into the spaceport. We still have 5,000 litres of paint in here. How much paint does it use when it sprays them? Enough, little enough that it gets filled up immediately, so that's fine. Ooh, is that a... Yeah, that's my first. I think my first load of farmer bots being taken away up to the space station. So I guess that means it's time to look at the space station and work out who I'm going to sell these farmer bots to, because I didn't really think about where they were going to go. I just chucked them in the machine. So let's see. I've got my communicator device here. Let's not use it in orbital laser mode. Let's go over to station management. Say hello, space station. Right, so who is requiring farmer bots, and how long is it going to take me to find someone it is? It's probably not going to be any of these sort of planets in the middle here, because they just want simple things because they're nearby, and that's how games work. And through here, oh, farmer robots, perfect. So if we configure your supply route, you can have some farmer robots. They want 48 per hour, which is fine if I'm going to make one every 15 seconds. Seems reasonable, so we'll do that. Transport drones we aren't making, so I can't sell them those. Don't need to save, so that's that done. Asayan wants miner robots, which I'm not making yet, so we won't have any of those. Droidrum science robots and various other things. This one's science robots. This one didn't need anything, any farmer big bots because it's quite close. Same. What about this way? Nope. Nope. Vororox. Nope. Cerethium. Nope. Okay, well, let's carry on out this way. Okay, so another place that's demanding miner robots and personal assistance robots. So those would be good ones to do at some point. Okay, let's try that. So finances and what am I making now? These are agricultural because it's a farmer robot. So select that one. I'm sending them out to one planet, sure. Really? Are you sure that's not just showing the ones that... Oh yeah, no, you're right. You're quite right. So there's nowhere else to send them. Well, that was a bit of a waste of time then making them. I shouldn't have made the farmer robots first. I should have looked at this and gone, well, we should be making the mining robots. There's 2 planets want them, or 192 per hour. Farmer robots is only 48 per hour, so that was a silly one. Military robots, the combat robots are 0. Nobody wants those apparently. Oh, it's interesting. I thought there were a lot more of the large robots were required than that. That's interesting. So these are... Oh, did it tell me how many total demand, supply capacity, sales? Okay, so that one's satisfied. That one's satisfied. Satisfied. Not satisfied because I'm not making cleaning bots, but there's only one place wants them, so that's not a big deal. That one's satisfied. That one's... I need to make snack bots and cleaning bots. Screen bots are... Oh, screen bots are not satisfied. I'm apparently not making them fast enough. Oh, unless there's a planet that I could be selling them to that I'm not yet. Yes, so Aelvenur is not getting them as quickly as we would like, and nor is Galaxon. And yeah, I think there's a supply problem with the screen bots. So we'll take a look at that at some point. Only one place needs maintenance drones, but actually, that said, I need those to make the ships that eat the mountains for me. So it's a good thing I'm making lots of those. That's fine. That's fine. It's not fine because I'm not making them, but you know, that's full capacity and nothing. Okay, so I'm largely there. There's a few bots I'm not making, but the only one that has an actual supply shortage appears to be the screen bot. And if I go and have a look in the storage, will I see that there are no screen... yeah, there's 36 screen bots in there, so there's clearly a bit of a problem there with making those fast enough. So I should definitely be going and taking a look at that. Let's just make sure with the on the sales platform that I'm not accidentally selling those a bit too fast. Screen bot selling. Yeah, we're all keeping 200 in storage. Okay. Thinking about storage, I can still fit 400 all the big robots in as well. So let's go back to the sales platform and enable sales of the sure, combat robot. But I want to say I didn't mean combat robot anyway. I meant farmer robot, but never mind. Presumably under F. No. They're not in alphabetical order. Never mind. You set that to 200 as well. Save. Right, so we'll sell those when we have too many of them, but for the time being, we're selling them off at whatever rate they're going off to the other places at. R&D, well, let's bump these things up a little bit because we can. Also take the upgrades while they're available. Mining drones, got a few. Planter drone and combat drone. Right, okay, some minor improvements there. That's fine. Production capacity of which one? Of the farmer bots? For now it is, yes, but I'm assuming I'm going to sell more of those in the future. I'm going to sell more of them in the future. But yes, it's nice that I seem to be making them fast enough at this point. Oh, right. No, display bots seem to be... Well, they weren't selling fast enough. They weren't selling to satisfy demand, rather. So that made me think, yeah, there's screen bots there going into... And there weren't very many of them in the space station. So I think these are being made too slowly. The ship's come down to grab them. It's taking the production. However, not all the machines are running, so the problem is that we're not making green circuits fast enough at the moment by the looks of it. So I need to make green circuits. Yeah, green circuits are at the moment the problem. And I think they're the problem because, yes, I was saying that there was a shortage of copper. So let's go over and have a look at copper. Oh, okay. I didn't see that number in the finances. So is there a... Yeah, these belts are not full. So I think my drills down here are... Yeah, there's loads of empty space on the belts here. So probably the drones are too far away from the ports. Oh yeah, the advantage of upgrading, if you upgrade your drone miners, then they just move, then they just can dig from further away. They don't actually get any faster. So that's not worthwhile. What I need to do, I think, is just come along here and then move all the drills in a bit. Getting a little bit closer to the the coal or the iron, the copper face in this case. So we'll put a strip of that across there, and then do I have these? I do. Okay. Not there. For goodness sake. There, and there. And then an exerters there, and there. And then a belt. This is going to replace this one. So we'll remove you. Boink, because you're too far away. So I would like a yellow belt. I should probably upgrade these to greens, really. But not for now. Oh, I missed it. That can come over here and go in there. Like that. And then I can bulk delete all of this. Right, so let's move them in closer. So now, there's no power. There we go. Let's move them in closer, so they should be able to pull the copper ore out a lot more quickly. Now I need to do the same thing here. One, two, three, four. Zoop, all the way over here. Now I'm not going to be able to fit quite as many in round the system anymore, which is a bit of a concern. Because we're getting in so close now that there isn't going to be room for as many drills. Although that said, I've got 1 there, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, basically we're ripping through this copper patch so quickly that it started to get depleted, which is a problem, a fairly major one. Ideally, I'd stick in a train from somewhere else, bring it from another patch, and bring in an enormous quantity of extra copper, but that's not really an option. Oh wait, I shouldn't have done that. Oh well, never mind. Yeah, I put in a train and bring in a huge amount more copper from somewhere else, but trains haven't been added to the game yet, so I'm not going to be doing that. In the short term, I'll move all the drills in, and I guess I'll have to go off and look for another patch of copper, so that I can start belting that in from there. Copper ore specifically, so I can start belting that in and producing my producing additional copper from that. That's going to be a little problematic because I don't know how much I'm going to be able to bring in that way. Let's bring this over this one. Sorry, I kind of derailed my train of thought a little bit there. Yeah, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to fit. How many belts I'm going to need, all that sort of thing. I have to work all that out, but that's not too difficult. Is that correct? Yes, almost. Oh, for... Right, well, for just doing the sort has found me enough space for now, but let's destroy a load of organic matter. I've still got robot bits. That's why it's part of the reason I've got so little inventory space. I also picked up some seeds from destroying trees. And I've broken the power over here now again. Where does power come? Oh, I see. I did a 3D demolish rather than a 2D demolish that I meant to do. Okay, you manage inventory. Have this. What do you mean can't take off? Dump inventory into machine. Stop drifting. There we go. So now I can pull that up. There we go. So over here, it's not going to be as much of it's not going to be as much of a move forward, but if I start putting them in along this part of the area, 3, 4, then we should get a bit more coming out, I think. There we go, and I'll pull out a few of these because I don't need that many drills. I reckon 5 aside is sufficient to fill a yellow belt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that'll do. I'm not going to bother moving that one forwards. That should increase the amount coming out through there, and then over here. Oh, this is ridiculous. This is dreadful. Let's just get rid of these. And I can't move very far forwards. I can a little bit, but not very far. But I can move them sort of one across like this. 2, 3, 4. I guess I'll put the fifth one on the end here because yeah, it's not entirely ideal, but it should work. Put that across there. Pick up the spare there, and then need some inserters. 6. Could I undermine one? Maybe. You still have the same problem though. The bots would have to fly all the way up to the top of the ore patch. So I think they're roughly spherical. It's got a pretty flat bottom now. I feel like they're approximate sphere-ish, but not necessarily particularly accurate spheres. Anyway, that should now improve the amount of copper ore coming out by a significant amount. It's a little bit... Yeah, I suppose I was going to say it's a little bit annoying. What I actually mean is that I'm still in sort of using the early game mining systems here, so things start to fail. What I need to do is go off and find a copper vein mine. Ore patches are being shown. What's that? No, that's another telexite. And so is that. There's a copper vein. So if I went all the way over to there, then I'd have significantly more copper. I wouldn't have the problem of the supply running out in quite the way it does as you start to get away from it. What are you? You're a mineral rock. Fine. Yeah. Oh, there's one. So they're not particularly common, and they're also rather a long way away. There's another one over there. Another 2 over here, in fact. But these are all well outside the sort of the area I've played with so far. So I don't really like the idea of building out belts over quite that sort of distance. Bottom of the explored right. Oh yeah, that one there. Okay, that probably is the closest one. But even from there, running it by belt from here to here is going to be a bit of a hassle. And this is where all the processing is at the moment. So I feel like it makes sense to keep this processing system. Although, to be fair, it wouldn't be too difficult to dismantle it and put it back together again somewhere else. And then it wouldn't be too hard to run power down here, I guess. And then perhaps I could fly it back over using the same system I've got for the coal over here. But I don't feel like these are particularly high capacity. So for the coal, it was fine because we're only using about 1 yellow belt of coal at the most for the entire factory. And so with that, I felt sort of okay with using the aeroplane to bring it over. For this one, for copper, at the moment we're using 6 yellow belts. I mean, it might be interesting to try doing that with an aircraft, see how it goes, because it'd be fairly quick and easy to implement that. Or I could do that with the ore, but then I think the ore is... I think you want to be doing it as a sort of a processed... You want to transport... I assume you want to transport stuff in its most processed state. Turning the ore into... turning the rubble into ore is a 1-to-1, and then turning the ore into... Oh, actually, you get more rods out than you put ore in. So that suggests that transporting the ore or even the rubble is a better idea because there's less of it. But then that said, I don't know how big it stacks because it doesn't tell me that. There isn't a quick and easy way to tell. Or actually, maybe there is. Maybe I can go and look at one of the machines. So, do these guys fill up input buffers up all the way? No. No, they're completely empty. So I don't know. I don't know which stage is better to transport stuff as. But it does look like it might not be too unrealistic to transport it as the as just fly the ore over here, drop it off on a landing pad around here somewhere, and then have a bajillion belts flowing out and going into all of these machines. Additionally, if I want more copper, I suppose I could put another 2 stories onto this, or actually, to start with, I could upgrade these belts that are taking it up the tunnel into green belts, and I'd only need 3 of them. Then I could put on an extra 2 stories on top of here and have it produce 6 green belts worth of copper ore. So there is definitely room for expansion here without too much, with only medium amounts of effort required. Let's go and find that copper vein. Somewhere over here. Yeah, so this area is a bit hillier than I was expecting. When I looked at the map, I was hoping that this was going to be just sort of flat plains and going to be relatively easy to build across. But although that said, pylons can go almost from the top of one mountain to the top of the next mountain, so that's not going to be a particularly difficult problem. Oh yeah, waypoint would help, wouldn't it? How do I place a waypoint? I was placing them by mistake before, and now I can't remember how to actually place them. There's transport ships. So I've got a transport ship running from the coal mine over here to the to dropping it off over here. I've forgotten how to place tags, which is entertaining because I kept doing it by mistake by clicking in the wrong way, and now it isn't. Oh, you can't create a waypoint for somewhere you haven't explored. Yeah, that's it. Yep, spot on, Sakatira. You're right, exactly right. So I'll just need to fly over this way a bit further until I get to it. Over this lovely ocean, which is going to be a pain to get a pylon across, but those 2 points might be close enough that I can run one across there in the shallow bit, or I could just fill in a bit of ground. That's also possible. There we go. Copper vein. I missed slightly, but never mind, it's close enough. I'm going to get out my scanometron and go bing. Does it do a couple 100 meters? I think it probably does. There we go. That is a massive vein. Very veiny. Veins are kind of ridiculous. But of course I can only get at little bits of it, like that patch there. Height 96, can't tell if that one, 52, 16, 90. There's a couple at 96, which isn't too far down. And the height doesn't really matter, I guess, because I'll just be putting in the same sort of elevators anyway. Yeah, so I think over here, digging down to this patch is probably going to be the way to solve the copper problems for a good long time in the future. For a good long time at some point in the future. But at the moment, the current patch is holding up. However, I should probably get the infrastructure set up before it actually runs out. And I go, oh no, crisis time. Open cast mine. It's quite... 96 is quite a long way down. And I don't know if that's going to be realistic with a vein mining system. My copper mine over there is kind of open cast. It is open to the elements. I'll go and show you again because you've clearly forgotten all about it because you're not including it when you're asking for an open cast mine. Yeah, and I've dug a massive chunk out of the side of the hill. Okay, the top of the hill is still there, but the space laser angle would probably. I think that's sort of functionally static in the sky because it's far enough away. So it would come in from the side of it at about the same sort of angle, I suspect. But yeah, this is almost an open cast mine. I can fly in there without touching the sides very, very easily. So it virtually counts. You just want me to wreck this poor planet, don't you? Make it look horrendous. And then we've got a spaceport over there taking away the farmer bots. So the question is going to be, what do I want to work on next? Can't be open. Okay, it's slightly closed cast. Yeah, even Swiss cheese planet. I mean, with the vein mines and with the ore veins, it almost is. Yeah. Right. So I think it's about time to start thinking about what's going on and whether to wind up at this point. I feel. Although I am wondering slightly why this has stopped. Why are you waiting? Machine is not ready because it's missing power or items. It's got power. Why are we armless? Oh, we are armless, but why? Arms come from here. Arms for the poor? Oh, no. We've run out of robot parts. Ah. Okay, well that's an easy thing to fix, because we follow this belt back all the way around to here, and we go, can we have some more robot parts, please? I would like to go, and I would like to go from I can't get down far enough. Right, I would like to go from there. Oh wait, we're already. Ha! I'm already copying those. Right, so what I need to do here, as usual, is I need to set up I need to select a new area, and I need to come in here, and I would like to select from sort of underneath here somewhere. We're going in 2, so if I select there, and then out to here, yes, and up to here. And then do copy and place. Then can I make a copy of the fox while I'm at it, and then put that there and there. And I'm missing 130 pieces for it, but we'll find. What am I missing? It's not trivial to tell. Oh, loaders by the looks of it. Missing loaders and. Okay, now I'm missing normal loaders, I'm missing conveyor ones, and I'm missing assembler 2s. Okay, let's go and get them. Right. And that will triple my rate of production, which is rather good. TM. Oop. I can't even jump over a pipe. Right. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Assembler 2s, boom. Belt 1, boom. And inserters. And you know, while I'm here, let's take some medium inserters as well. And then, doop. And I would like to confirm paste. Done! Hurrah! 915 items. Jeez. That is quite a lot. Quite a big paste. And I'm now down to sub 100 belts again, so let's go off and get some more of those. And also some more of the long inserters while I'm at it. The very long inserters. Like that. And some more belts. More belts. And I'd like to get some more inserters. Now we've we'll have made a few at least. So come over here and inserter. Take another 12 of those apparently, or 13 of them. Right. Okay, so I think this is now going to be about. It feels like a good time to start winding the stream up, because I've finished a major build with the assembly line over there that's making the big pharma robots, and they're being shipped off to space. Lovely. I've found that, and then now I've picked at a few little problems here and there, and so I think on the to-do list, well, I might be going to need to get a bit more power. Let's go and have a look at the power grid. Bonk. Power grid says generation is. It's kind of full, but also we've got full batteries as well. So I'm no longer quite sure how to read this. It feels like we've got 65 megawatts coming out of the steam turbines, and the batteries are slowly discharging, but very, very slowly discharging. So I think that means we do have enough power. Maybe I should be decommissioning some of the steam turbines, particularly the ones that are running on coal, but we'll worry about that another time. It seems to be okay anyway. So that's, yeah, so power is currently, I think, is fine, but it's slightly hard to tell. Most of the robot production is fine, except for the screen bots, which need more. Ooh, that pipe isn't very full. I think that's the paint pipe. No, it's not. That's the lube pipe. I might need to make a little more lube. So, need to make more green circuits. but that's gated somewhat behind making more copper. So perhaps I need to go out and get more copper. I need to start doing some vein mining on that copper patch way off in the distance. There are a few more bot types to make. Oh yeah, dirt recycling. That's an excellent point. Let's see how much we've got in the boxes from that. Where am I? No, box over here. Let's see how much has ended up in that warehouse. So we've emptied it all out quite happily now, but we need to do something with it. So how many stacks have we got in here? Right, so tundra dirt. Yeah, okay. So we've got basically one stack of each thing because the stacks are absolutely phenomenally huge now because people were getting fed up of not being able to carry. Of their inventories overflowing with all these very, very quickly whenever they did any sort of digging whatsoever. So they've changed the rules so you can now have a lot more in your in per stack, and that's carried over to the logistics chest as well by the looks of it, which is great because to be honest it means it gets rid of all the junk that I might end up carrying around with me. So it means I don't have to put in an enormous number of these storage things to hold all the junk that's coming out. So that's appreciated. Yes, putting in a thing to deal with all of that, turn it into something vaguely useful, is an excellent idea, especially as if you never know, it might output some copper ore. The question is, how do we then transport it to where it's going to actually be useful, but we'll burn that bridge when we come to it. So yes, you know what, I'm going to grab a notepad and write these down, because that way there is a small chance of me actually remembering this next time, and not just going, what on earth was I going to do? So, power seems to be okay. So we want to do recycle soil. I want to build more robots, but that's an obvious thing. I'm not going to put that on the list. Copper vein mine, and I think transporting that, since we don't have trains yet, I think transporting that by aircraft is probably going to be the way to go. By aircraft, and also production of more green circuits. I can't even write. So let's try that again, but with less less inability to use a pencil. Green circuits plus. Now, if there's an area, if there's a convenient patch of oil out here, there's a patch of our oil. Yeah, there's a patch of oil down here. And what are you? You're an olumite as well. I could pipe olumite in from here over to here and then make green circuits basically on site at this copper vein and ship those in, because that would probably, I feel like that would be a bit more efficient and would be a good idea, TM. And that's not an impossible distance. It's quite a long way, but it's not. It's manageable. I could probably bring the oil from here or here over to here, and that would then I can make green circuits on site and bring them over and dump them over here instead of having a factory making them. So going off in the sort of Factorio way of moving off into having separate towns for separate things at this point, that could work quite nicely. So that's very tempting. On site at copper mine. Obviously, I'll be making more big robots and more drones as well. Just basically continuing this thing along here. That's going to be carry on expanding that. In fact, you know what? While I'm talking about this, let's set the next stage of digging out the mountain going, because there's quite a lot of mountain and it keeps getting in the way. So fly over here, and then with that tool, I want to go from there to, it would only let me go as far as here. Then we'll go as far that way as I possibly can, which is apparently 25. And then as far this way as I can, which is, I don't know, 38. Okay. I want to get that going. Also, you know what? Since I can, I'll also do it again from here. Fall in the hole. Great. Why not? That way. Also 25. And up. And just take out the entire mountain. That's a good idea. Right, so now we can get the ships coming over to do that, and they'll demolish that that mountain for me, another couple of big chunks of that mountain. So drones are probably being made about fast enough. The screen bots are not, but that's because of a lack of green circuits rather than a lack of anything else. So that's a problem to be solved off this bus area. That's fine. The space station is basically happy. I can probably expand out now and go off and do more and more and more and more planets, delivering stuff to them. But at this point, I think I'm more interested in expanding the breadth of things I produce rather than how many of them and how many places I send them to. So yeah, I think so that's going to be so yeah. I think just making more and more types of robots at the moment is going to be more interesting and more fun. So recycling the soil, copper vein mining, green circuits. I feel like those are the things that occur to me. I can't think of anything else I'm missing. Looking at the research is probably a good idea. I mean, I could research a load of these things, make some more. There's more robot types in here and more drone types I could be making. Ignium fuel rods. I don't even know what those are for. Powerful fuel rods, quote unquote. Sure, I don't know what that does, but apparently it is a thing. And there's still quite a lot of... Well, actually, there's not that much research left to do. I'm getting quite close to the end. Ooh, jetpack speed 3. Let's have that. Oh, that's behind another science pack. Let's research the next science pack. Find out what goes into that. Robot parts, hydraulic pistons, and CPUs. Great, that's going to be... that's expensive. Maybe expanding my production of CPUs is going to be a thing then. Let's see how that's holding up. Or it's not so much the CPUs, because actually the belt is full. More the teluxite wafers that are coming through. So this is still full. This is... I mean, we've got a lot of this. Seems to me like, at the moment, teluxite is not a problem, so that's nice. I don't need to worry about that. The one vein miner is producing enough to keep everything, to keep the relatively small numbers of robots that I'm producing being made. So that's fine. I'll put check on screen bots. That's an after green circuits though. Check screen bots, and then just make more bots. I think maybe pink science. Yeah, I think that seems like a fairly manageable to-do list. What was I saying as the things I wanted to do today? Today was going to be assembly lines and big robots, maybe poking the vein miners, but that one, the teluxite one, is keeping up. But we're keeping going happily on it all by itself. And I was thinking about more power. Maybe a bit more power would be a good idea. More solar, perhaps. I don't really, not convinced I actually need it, but I feel like you can never have too much power available. And I also can't get through here. Right, now it's daytime. What do the grid stats say? They say that, yeah, we've got a bit of extra power. We've got... But, no. We've only got 6.5 megawatts. So we're producing about 10% from solar. So I think expanding the solar would be quite nice until it's producing essentially enough to keep the factory happy, rather than just being a top-up. So we can switch largely over to solar and then start thinking about... I probably won't dismantle the steam turbines. I'll just leave them in place until they run out of power, until they run out of coal, and then they just subside into nothingness because they're on a separate coal feed to everything else. That's being done over here. This coal patch is feeding the steam power in this area, and then also making the coaly water that then goes down to the geothermal vents down here. So actually, maybe what I should be doing is ripping out this steam power and replacing that with solar, because that's the one that's going to be burning through the coal a bit quicker, and then we can keep the geothermal going on sort of semi-free. Yes, I think you're right, Regular. It does seem that way. There is quite a lot of... Another thing I've not actually played with in this game is the you have circuit controls as well, similar to the Factorio ones, I assume. So we've got data cables, we've got data evaluators, memory cells, processors, sources, button sources, lever sources. So there's all these things you can use to control stuff around the factory, but I haven't felt a need for any of it yet. The system, the factory is just working quite well off on just without any clever logic in there. So it's something. So I haven't felt the need to fiddle with that. I don't remember seeing power switches. We've got transformers of a couple of sizes and pylons and battery, solar generation. I don't remember seeing any switches. I might be able to use these logic systems down here. So maybe I can... Ooh, let's see. Yeah, there's data system support on the batteries. So I could have the batteries connected to the data system and then maybe use those to connect to the steam turbines and have those turn on and have them turn the steam turbines on when the batteries run low. That's a possibility. Yeah, I quite like that idea. Let's put that on the list to look into. Look into circuit control of turbines. Yeah, that would be quite nice. Then, yes, as we say, save the coal, and ideally, and then just run everything off the solar panels and the geothermal. The geothermal does technically use a little bit of coal, but I think it uses little enough that it's probably not too much of a concern. Okay. That is a significant to-do list now, so I think that's going to keep me quite busy next week. But so I shall be back again once again at 8 o'clock next Wednesday. Remember that the Foundry streams start slightly later than the Factorio ones because I have a friend who does an evening workout on Wednesdays, and I want to be supportive, so I braved the traffic to go over and join that today. There'll be videos coming out tomorrow and Friday. This week there is going to be a Factorio one and a Foundry one if you're a supporter, or 2 Factorio ones from last week if you're not a supporter. We'll be back for a Planetary Pioneers stream on Monday, so that's the 5 of us with the Factorio mods where we've got 20 planets, 30 science packs, and so on. And if you fancy something a little bit different and want to watch an old... Yep. And if you fancy something a little bit different in Factorio, I would recommend checking out the VOD from the stream on Saturday, where we played what we called Factorio Shift Change, which was using the Archipelago mod, or at least a modified version of it, which means you have multiple games, but all the science packs are randomised and scattered between all the different games. So we had 3 games running with 8 people in them, but if I needed chemical plants, for example, I might have had to wait for Regular to go off and develop them in his game. And then, just to make things a little bit more weird, as a twist, the shift change element of it was that every 5 minutes, 2 people would be randomly swapped over between their games. So you'd be happily, merrily working away on building green circuits or something in one place, and then you'd be randomly and then teleported off to another planet where you had to go off and then start thinking about something completely different. So that made it interesting, and it was entertainingly frustrating in the good way, I would say. It was slightly exasperating at times, but in the way that you don't really mind because it was kind of funny. Oh look, here's an enormous quantity of stone and soil being pouring out of the construction ships and then being taken over to the infinite storage over here for us to deal with another time. I want to fill these holes in because I keep falling in them, but maybe not now. Right, okay, so that's everything that's going on the channel. Please make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, following on Twitch, or vice versa if you're feeling generous, so you don't miss out on anything. I will be back, as I say, on Monday, so I hope to see you then. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you then. Good night. Good night, Regular. Good night, No Guard. And good night, Sakatera. Yes, the shift change was very entertaining. It was absolutely ridiculous, but in the best possible way. Just how we like it. One other thing, actually, if you're watching on Twitch, please hang around a little bit because I'm going to go off and try and find someone to raid. We'll see if there's anyone else playing Foundry on the internet at the moment, and see what we can find. So yes, let's do a raid. I'm trying to get better at remembering these, so here we go. So let's have a look. Is anyone playing Foundry? Foundry. That game. And we have nobody playing Foundry. Okay, so we won't be doing that. So I'm following streaming at the moment. Yeah. So then, is anyone playing something relevant? I guess since we've been playing Factorio in a Minecraft world, let's go off and then pick on somebody who's playing Minecraft for a change. Let's go and see Cyclomatic again, because he's been good about raiding me in the past. So, thank you very much for watching. I'm going off to go and do a raid, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.